Welcome, friends, to the Lucky Die's Ask Me Anything or AIMA episode. Previously, Arch decides to play a mystic, Casey puts on a stellar accent, Neil gives the DM a bunch of dumb ideas, and Volonda has a really stupid plan. With the gang never expecting so many questions about their little podcast, they prepared their own just in case and put them into the mix. The recording itself took nearly 3 hours because they answered them all. Will Casey be doing finger guns? Does Arch have an inquisitive nature? Why did Neil invent Raoul? And how many times will Volonda have to say Iguatfo? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the AIMA episode of The Lucky Die. Okay, we're good. We're starting.
All right.
Woo!
So I have to start? Am I in charge? Are you in charge? Technically, I'm reading the questions, but I don't have to be in charge.
You did the surprise.
God damn it.
You get to do the intro. Good job.
Okay. Just start, or are we recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Well,
Hi.
Hi.
hi. Welcome to the AIMA episode
AMA.
of The Lucky Die.
This is so awkward. It's
This is
hilarious.
really awkward.
You want me to do it?
Fine.
You do it.
Do it. Fuck off.
Leave that in. So that people know that I'm not the asshole. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lucky Dad podcast. Today we're doing an AMA episode because we're doing a special thing for episode 25 because 25 is a special number in that there's really nothing special about it except that it's
A round
a quarter of 100.
And that we were going to all be in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are.
Flew over from the UK, and now I'm with the rest of the homies, and someone drove up from somewhere really incredibly far away.
Very far. The
Yes.
most far.
One might say almost half of the country away.
I drove so far too. 30 minutes.
It would have been 20, but someone got stuck in traffic.
Yeah, we got stuck in traffic. Yeah, so we're actually all together in the same room for once. So apologies for the echoing. Apologies for
Yeah.
scratchy noise on the ground because it's probably going to be Travis, which is TLD dog.
Yep, he's the mascot.
Unofficial mascot.
The unofficial official mascot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, this is AMA. We have a huge bunch of questions, and we're going to get through as many as we can. Hopefully, all of them. But
If we don't answer yours, don't worry. We'll probably do another one later on. We'll save the questions.
Yeah, but we'll see how it goes.
And you can always ask us on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, we'll pretty much always answer them anyway. It's just that we thought, hey, we're all going to be together. We should do something good. All right, so I assume everyone knows who we are. So I've split the questions up mostly into little sections. So we're going to start with logistics first because this is one we get quite often.
Sure.
All right, so first question comes from Twitter/Discord from Jess, who is at Jess. I cannot. I'm shitty with pronouncing stuff.
Jess, you know who you are.
Jess, you know who you are. We know we love you. And also from Starwell, who asked a similar question. What is your recording schedule like?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's Wednesdays, depending on our schedules. Sometimes people are busy or whatnot.
Yeah, we tend to do Wednesdays every other week unless we need to record a backlog, and then it's every week.
Which we're actively working
Which
on.
we are actively doing at the moment. We need some sort of backstory. About how many episodes ahead are you guys compared to what is posted? Because we were talking about episode 25, which, spoiler alert, we're recording this after we've done episode 21.
Yeah, we haven't done
Episode
anything
17
after
just
21.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit ahead, but that's only because we knew we'd have to backlog because I was going to be over here, Neil was going to be travelling, so it'd have to be doing all the editing stuff.
Right.
No pressure.
No pressure. But you're doing a good job.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, we usually record just about 2 or 3 episodes ahead. Mostly 3.
Mostly
four
three, yeah.
sometimes,
I mean, like in a session, we get like 3 episodes typically. So
Yeah, it's 2 if like I know there's a specific point I want to stop at. 3 if we can handle it, and 4 I think's the most we did.
Yeah.
in one hit, and then it was like, yeah, I need to go to bed.
that was fun though.
That was really good fun. I think we did almost 6 hours just like sitting down chatting, either being on either recording or like sitting and talking. So
Bullshit.
and at that point it was like 6 a.m. I was like, no, I need to go to bed. I've had enough.
We try to do at least like once a month.
Yeah.
I'd say.
And Casey started getting really cranky at that point, so we were like,
Yeah.
maybe we should
So
stop.
Tana was getting more cranky. We were like, oh, we need to leave.
You were cranky. You were doing that pouty face.
Like that's the one. She's
Yeah.
got an amazing pouty face right now. All right, the next question again comes from Discord from the Starber. How do the guest voices work? Like with Cannonmorn, does Volonda RP the characters and have them record the lines post? Are they also live yet silent? Will the world ever know?
That's all UV.
I RP the voice. I RP everything. And then I send the lines off to Rethix or to Not That Drew, who did the voice of your dad.
My father.
Your father. So
We're going to see my father.
Yeah, so I do those. I don't give them a particular voice, so they're never like consistent. So like Callumorn start off as like really deep and growl. Now it's just like ah. So because I know that Rethix has it and I know that Drew has the lines. But yeah, I mean that's how the voiceovers work.
So, I blanked out. Hold on.
You blank.
I did blank out.
You did a blank.
Talking about the
that's-
Callumorn.
Yeah. So that's not to say that we're not going to have actual people sit down with us as guests later.
We already have a few lined up.
Yeah, we have
We
a few
do.
actual guests to actually come into sessions and play with us. But for like Callan Moore, for example, we just can't predict when we're going to need Callan Moore to be there. We can't ask someone to come and sit down for every session and then not talk to Callan Moore for multiple episodes at a time. So
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair.
I would talk to him, but he hates me.
Yeah, he hates you. Also, I've like from my like horrible point of view, I like making Rethix say certain things because I know he'll do it. But particularly in line with Calimon, as I give them a thing and then I let whoever it is that's doing the voice just take it and do what they want with it to a degree. I mean, there are some sections like this has to be said. Like, particular words have to be said, but other than that, just have fun with it. And both the guests we've had have been fucking amazing at making their character their own. They brought such little things to it, so good. So, yeah, that's
and
basically
what's
just...
cool is that they don't really hear. They don't hear how it fits into context.
They really don't.
Until, so
No.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so I literally just sent them a recording of what I say. I send them a little script of the things that are said, and they just highlight things that they can't change. Other than that, they're pretty good
I mean, we
to go.
could do better and send them the context.
I could do...
But we haven't done that yet.
I think that'd be really harsh to do that with Cannonball because he appears so randomly, and like the bits before won't always make sense. To like, yeah, I don't know.
Plus, it's funnier later then.
It's much funnier for me because he gave something to the like especially Cannonball, and gave something to the character that I just didn't see. He was such an asshole. He made Cannonball more of an asshole. It was brilliant. So
And we didn't think that was possible, but it was.
Really? I thought that was totally possible. But that's because I'm already disposed to dislike.
Yeah, to dislike him. So
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from that then. This is a question from me. Because I think we should tell the people how we do this. Like, so how do we come up with the episode names and descriptions?
So,
I get off of work,
yep.
and then I hop on where everyone's playing Overwatch,
Yep.
and then I'm like, okay, what are we going to name this?
It's basically just Neil and I bullshitting on Skype for half an hour going, what about this one? No, this one.
He wouldn't let me name the episode with an Inverna.
Nope.
What? Baby, you're a firework. He wouldn't let me.
No. That was it. No.
Sometimes I contribute
That
really
hit-
terrible pun titles, but then Neil's are always better.
I like the last one. Is it at least things couldn't get worse? I just lost my shit. I know most of them aren't puns, but some of them are just so good.
Tell Me Maybe was still my favorite.
Count Me Baby,
Yep.
yeah, was pretty good.
If
Yeah.
there's not like a good pun to be made or something, then I'll just do something generic.
Yeah, the description is mostly just Neil writing it up because it's not
That's
like
the fun part. That's
Yeah.
the part
it's all
I step on
context,
with.
so it's easy enough to kind of.
Yeah, what I really like is because obviously you have ones that you do on the various podcatchery things.
Yeah.
Arch, you have one that you do on Twitter, and I do one for the
Yep.
intro. I just love how varyingly different they are.
When I put them on Facebook, I just write as short a thing as possible because I'm just like, everybody's already said everything that's good.
So Casey cheeses it.
Yeah.
It's case with the cheese, but it's good. This one comes from Kat Vermeulen, at FatCat on Twitter. What audio recording setup do y'all use?
Terrible snowballs.
We use
Not that bad.
They're not that bad.
They're nice
There's
enough.
worse things.
Yeah, they could be worse. It could be headset mics.
Oh my god.
It could be even worse than that. We could be using webcam mics.
Oh, we could be using built-in laptop mics.
I had to throw up even saying that one.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
God.
Uncomfortable. But yeah,
like our
generally, I think
snowballs.
most of us have snowballs. I'm
use
changing
snowballs.
across to something else soon.
Yeah, I've
you are
already
as well.
started using this guy. I'm pointing at a mic right now.
Yep. what is that mic, Neil?
What is that
It is
mic?
an MXL V63M.
Those are words.
Sounded okay.
Those are words.
That might just be letters.
It doesn't pick up the air conditioning in my room so terrible.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
As
That's
the
good.
other, as the snowball.
Or
tends.
computer fans.
I should get one of those then.
Computer fans, yeah.
I think we're eventually going to be upgrading once we can actually afford.
Yeah.
I've pretty much given everyone individually the kind of the go ahead to go and test new mics out and find something that works for them.
Right.
Just if it's bad, you'll have to re-record all of your mics.
I'm gonna bypass that and do something before I send you before we record with it
please
because
do your
I can't.
testing. Yeah.
Like especially for me, I can't record like 6 hours worth of stuff. I would just die.
Yeah.
It just would not be anywhere near as good. And also we use Audacity just to capture our
Yeah, we
sound
use
stuff.
Audacity, we use snowballs, and then I just use computers to make them sound good.
What program do you use?
Oh, I'm on Cubase.
Cool. I
It's
nod
just
like
my
that means
editing
a thing.
choice software.
I nod like that means a thing.
I just accept that those are words.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Yeah. So Neil really is our tech guru. He's the man.
They're 100% words, and we can pretend we know what they mean.
Okay. Yes. That sounds like a great program.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah. Also from Kat, how much work goes into the campaign outside of what we hear? Like, how often do y'all talk to each other about things you're thinking of doing? When you level up, do you do it together to try and pick things that complement one another?
Oh, boy.
We talk about dumb shit always.
Well, dumb shit, yes. Official stuff,
Almost never, I feel like.
Or after recording, we do like little business things sometimes. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do businessy things, but I don't think you guys ever really sit down and do. I know there is one thing which we definitely discussed doing outside of actually recording, but I'm going to get to that later in the episode because that comes up with something really massive in something else later, so we'll cover that then. But
Right.
I think generally you guys don't really talk to each other about serious stuff, right?
No.
because most of it's kind of spoilery.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't want to
Sometimes.
meta.
Yeah.
We'll like hypothetical and joke sometimes, and then if it gets to the point where it sounds like scheming, then we will pretty much just
Yeah.
try to keep it back down to jokes. But we talk a lot about just in general the project.
Level up wise, it's pretty much just between each of us individually with Volonda because leveling up stuff is kind of like
I think they're kind of really
Individual.
personal to each character, especially because some of you are going to take certain paths. Like, you're like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. Actually, do you think we could do this because it would lead to something later on? I'm like, I would love you to do that because it gives me a plot point. Anything that gives me plot points, like, I'm there. I'm freaking there. So,
I know that definitely for me, like, I definitely consider roll and balance when I've been taking like spells when I level up. Like I remember I took bless because I was like, or guidance or whichever one it was because I was like, yeah, they need some help.
but that also leads later.
I think specifically, I was like, Rawl needs some help because it was like right. I think I was
Rawl
like,
needs help.
because it was like right after when he was getting like his ass kicked by the spiders.
Roll20 hates me, and you think of Rawl, I am hurt.
Look at Roll. Seriously, look at him.
too.
But that leads into interesting ideas. Like, although we're doing this separately, like you as your character would be considering and wondering about them too. So therefore, you picking
Yes.
those things as Casey.
Sultana cares.
She cares.
She cares.
She cares. Sorry.
Sultana cares about taking care of her friends.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't show it, but she does. So yeah, I guess that kind of helps. On my side, I do a lot.
She says yes to the dumb thing.
It's almost like you're the DM. Like
It's
there's
almost
a lot
like
of
the
prep
DM.
you
I do a lot of prep, and I say yes to as many dumb ideas as possible.
She's literally
like-
spent the last 2 days writing prep.
I have, yeah. Because, as we mentioned before, we got guests coming in, and I want them to feel like they're a part of our world and they're actually players. So I've written some of their backstory episodes and stuff. And I've written, like, what's going to happen to these guys, because they're an interesting point of the story now where they could go pretty much anywhere. So I'm like, I would like to guide you here, but this may not be the case. So there's a lot of prep that goes in on my end. So yeah, but I try not to talk too much to these guys about what I'm prepping unless it's specifically about their characters and what they want to do. If I'm like, I want to go be I don't know, a fisherman, in which case I will try and work with you to be a fit. Please don't do that, Neil.
Well, how else are we going to get sushi?
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Or she'll just go, oh, I just wrote something about, I just wrote some stuff for your character, and then she'll like evil laugh, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah, there are a couple of moments that when I was doing prep, especially like way back in the early days, where I'd write something and go, oh my god, that's a great idea. Although to be fair, when I was prepping yesterday, I probably did squeal at an idea. I don't know if it's going to make it, but it did make me like, oh my god, this is great. Just out loud, it was cool.
There are some things that we haven't communicated. Like, I know, at least in terms of balance, I kind of broadsided you twice with things. Once was with me delving into Marnak's memories. And then...
There is actually definitely a question about that coming up. So
there is.
Yeah.
And then there's also the me tracing Caden, because I can say that because this episode's coming out way after that.
Yeah, this comes out. So we can talk about everything up to 21 because we've done that, so that's fine.
When Caden got captured and I did the whole trace back.
Yeah,
like,
that was good, yeah.
That's not a Mystic thing. That's not on the character sheet. And I didn't mention it to Volonda beforehand. I was just like, what if I tried it this way?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that kind of makes sense. So, okay, fuck it, roll for it.
Okay, so next question comes from Facebook from Travis Vengroff, who is at Atris Endures and at White Vault. Cough, cough, someone may be voice actors on both of those. How did we all meet?
That's a whole...
Reddit.
Actually...
Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit. So I found a thing online saying, do you want to come, does someone want to play D&D and be a voice actor on something? I'm like, yeah, sure. And that's how I met Arch.
Which is how I ended up going, was Reddit as well.
Yep. And then that's how we met Neil. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you found out about what we were doing.
I needed a project because I had a very rough year in 2016. I needed something to do.
Hug quota. We have one hug.
It had been a while since I'd done a project. I had started listening to D&D podcasts. I had started, I already knew how to audio it. I knew that I wanted to delve deeper into that. So I was just like, hey, I can do some audio work.
And then Casey is an interesting story in that Casey and I share a mutual friend. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Chris. He's never going to hear this because he's a right bastard.
Aww.
Is that the guy I spent like 20 minutes talking with Gilmore?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
No, he's a great guy. He's not an asshole. I like him.
He's alright. Yeah. So I was DMing a game that was I was just DMing at home, just playing for fun. And Chris was in the game and we needed another player. And he was like, well, hey, I have this one friend. And I'm like, great. Bring him in, and then came in Casey, playing a ranger that didn't know how to use any of her abilities.
True. To be fair, it was my first real D&D game because when I was in college, I used to play like other tabletop stuff. So it was, your game was Rivka was my first ever real D&D character.
I feel both honored and shocked. It was fun, though. We played that game. That game went for like a year and a half before someone used a wish spell. And
Let's not talk about
Let's not talk about that. Anyways, moving along.
Yeah, and then I met
and then
and Neil because
the project that the three of us went on basically ended up winding up and it came to a natural end. And I was like, hey, guys, I want to keep playing with you. So I have a really stupid idea, which is basically how my ideas start. Yep. Do you want to do like another D&D podcast with me as a DM? And they were like, sure. I'm like, we need another player.
And I was like, hey,
here's a Casey.
And I was like, oh my god, they think I'm good enough to do this?
Yeah.
Sweet.
We mostly picked you just to fill a quota. Like,
oh, because you needed like a girl on the podcast. Got it.
Yeah, we need, no, it's a 50-50 thing.
Son of a bitch.
No, I meant like as a player, because you're the DM.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a 50-50 thing, because if you look at it, this is actually a really well-balanced podcast in that we have...
please don't say the word balance. We were talking about something you ruined. Never mind.
You completely ruined 3 words.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
equal...
It's an equal pie. That's basically how we met. So yeah, it's just random happenstance, really.
But we all love and hate each other.
Yep. Another question from Discord from my bestie, Thirsty, at Thirsty_BTP.
Here we go, the hard hitters.
No, some of these are really stupid that he put out and some of them are really good. So why is your t-shirt so much more comfortable than the other ones I have from the same website?
Magic. Next question.
Genuinely magic.
Souls.
I'm actually wearing our t-shirt. Nobody else here is.
Mine's in the wash right now.
I don't even have one because somebody said that they were going to bring me one from England and they didn't.
I said I ordered you one because I didn't know where your address was, and I'm going to as a thank you present for putting up with me for 2 weeks.
And hey, by the way, just as a heads up for all you listeners, if you want to get merchandise, we do have them on TeePublic. If you don't know where the link is, it's on our Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mine are sell at moment. We do have stickers as well because I have one on the back of my car because it's awesome.
I need to order one for my laptop.
Yeah.
Just buy like 20 of the stickers and just plaster them everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so I hope that answers that question. The Team Republic t-shirts generally are the nicest t-shirts I own. So
They are. They're
get
very
them.
comfy. You just got to get like a size larger than
They're
what I would.
okay.
only that comfy because we use magic.
Yeah, magic. Why magic? And the next question comes from Twitter. I think it's Fian. Phian.
Catageddon.
Fian.
Catageddon, basically at Catageddon. I'm just going to refer to you as that because I can pronounce that. What is it like creating a D&D podcast?
Hell.
Hell.
I'm sorry, Neil.
No, I have to agree.
No, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I love it.
Hell and fun. It's
Yeah.
hellish fun.
The thing is I think why we enjoy it so much is because we already have like a natural group. Like,
The four of us
Mesh?
have a groove. Yeah.
yeah, like we all get along well enough that it's like no matter what happens, like we don't. There's no bad blood.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
We're all very open.
Like
with
I'll
each other.
give Casey shit all the time for Zoltana being Zoltana, but like there's
and
no.
Balance gives Zoltana shit for Zoltana giving Balance shit? Wow.
And then I give Arc shit for balance. But
Yeah.
we're all like genuinely friends, so it's a lot
Yeah.
of fun to record together. And
Yeah.
Listen,
I
if
think-
you're friends with someone and you're not busting each other's balls, you're not doing it right.
that's true.
Yeah, we can't be open with each other, then we're in trouble. I don't know. I think it's because we're such good friends and the game is really fun for us. At least it is for me. I don't know how you guys feel. But
I
this is
love
really
it.
fun for us, and everything else around is just like the icing on the cake. The fact that other people are even listening to us is just like insane to me.
Yeah, every time someone like messages the Discord to talk about like the podcast, it just blows my mind that there are people who like it that much.
It blows my
Yeah.
heart up.
Because it's just like, it's like
Yeah.
just this fun thing that we're doing because we like playing with each other and
Sorry. I had the mind of a
Kink
three-year-old.
button.
it's so,
Kick button.
God damn you guys. You're so, and you say I am like have a dirty mind.
You do.
That's true.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a lot of work because we all do separate things, which actually leads on to my next question of what everyone does. Like we all have different things that we're in charge of, like outside of the game.
Yep.
Other than me, who's just all game, all game all the time. But
Game
yeah,
is
we all
life.
have our own little jobs. So I do our website, I do the game, and I generally keep everything on track the best I can. So I am web mistress, game mistress, and task mistress. So that's me.
She's just the mistress.
I'm the mistress. Yeah, please just call me mistress. Yeah. Next round, what do you do?
I do the editing and the music that goes in the background of the episodes.
Best part of the episode.
I agree.
That intro.
That fucking intro, man.
Oh my god, I rock out to it every fucking time.
Me too. Like normally I bypass the intro for most things because it's the
Nope.
same. Never do that with this. It's so freaking good. And it's so, because it's short as well, we kept our corridor of being in the game within 2 minutes.
It's true.
Which is great for me.
If I were actually used a ringtone, that would be my ringtone.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I can send it.
And you are very talented. So
Aw.
he's going to blush now.
Casey,
Thanks.
what
I'm
do you do?
blushing.
Yeah, Casey, what do you do?
I run the Facebook, and I am the marketing person because I work in advertising. We haven't really had a lot of that to do as yet, but
That requires income, which we have zip.
yeah. Well, no, because marketing also is about us doing like ads for other people and stuff.
Which we're working
But
on.
yeah, we're working on that stuff, and I've been writing a program for us, like an advertising program. So it's all very boring and technical, and I don't think our fans will be even vaguely interested. So
Basically, the words, I'm in marketing and advertising. And we're done.
yeah,
And finally, last man at the table.
Have you ever interacted with us on Twitter? If you have, guess what? That's me. Hi. Literally, that is what I do. Is I spend any of my free time on my phone, on Twitter, on our TLD account, and I basically go, "You look like a cool person. I'm going to follow you. You're interacting with us. Hey, thanks for tweeting at me. I love that you're doing that. By the way, how do you like the show?"
Yeah.
And then I just do a bunch of other random stuff that basically makes our Twitter what it is.
You're basically the social guy. You
Yeah.
are our face.
Which is funny because IRL, totally not social.
that's why you should run our Instagram too when we make it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not,
You're really good at the social media stuff, dude.
but that requires pictures.
Yeah, but you
Yeah, but
can
you
learn.
can-
It's fine.
yeah, I can
You've got this.
send you the stuff, but you make much better descriptions and stuff, and you're better at interacting than I am.
I can try.
You're the social guy. That's your
You're a
job.
social.
Anybody listening to this episode, if you have Instagram tips for me, go for it.
Oh man, you're getting
Please.
inundated. All
Well,
right.
I am open to
that's true.
any and all feedback. from
Ask Drew
people.
and Bucky later. They have one for theirs.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was all the logistic stuff that I could find. Okay, so most of these questions I put into categories, but they may not necessarily fit in the category very well because I was really tired when I did them and I can't bother resorting them out.
That's okay.
All right, so the first question actually comes from Neil.
I thought of some questions.
You did.
Volonda, what NPC is your favorite to play when it comes to interacting with the PCs? That's nice.
Demi.
Demi, really?
Because the first time I brought Demi in, you guys were nonplussed. Like, what the fuck is going on? Because everything up to that point had been very serious, very like, there was a particular theme I was going for, like cold and dark and heavy. And then Demi comes in like a fucking whirlwind of fire, and you guys were literally just sitting there with your mouth slightly open aghast, like, I generally don't know what's going on.
The best comparison is we went from Barovia to Candyland,
Yes, yes.
and I just didn't realize the transition happened.
I like the range that Demi has because she can do that very overexcited thing and be very calm and very dedicated to what she's doing, like almost psychotically dedicated to it. And I like that way that she interacts with you guys and the way you guys interact back with her. So
I love Demi.
other than Taylor's,
She's
Except for
gonna
that
kill.
she's
She's gonna kill
insane.
Kythea.
is that your this is your personal theory?
My personal theory is that some shit's gonna happen. Kythea's gonna be dead, and Balance is going to rage.
Because
He's in love with her.
He loves her.
Touchtail.
So yeah, that's my favourite. What about you guys? Like, who do you like interacting with NPC wise?
Oh.
No, I'm asking like it's going to affect the game, but it really isn't.
I like being mad at Lindren.
Yeah.
That is a funny interaction because Balance just like poking him every time he's like being a dick.
Yeah.
Caden, though. Caden, for sure.
I love Caden.
Caden's so useless.
Caden saved your lives.
Yeah. If it
And
wasn't
then we
for
saved
Caden-
his.
Yeah,
No,
it's
and
mutual.
then he
but
saved
saved
your life
lives.
again because he woke me up in time to save you guys from having to fucking have like fail all your death saving
No.
throws.
That blame purely goes
He's
to
on
Neil.
roll.
What did I do?
When the
Exactly.
the fireball.
Oh,
If Caden hadn't woken up Zoltana, y'all would have died.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think interaction-wise, my favorite is Dead Ama.
Dead Aimer,
The,
yeah.
the views into the past.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, not like in not in a sad way. Like I like that I can kind of like take a peek behind the veil into the past and see these little tidbits of her
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
because it's like extra bits that are like backstory episodes, but in tiny little flashbacks.
Yeah, so yeah, I like the idea of doing this. Kind of partly why I gave you that particular thing that you have and let you run with what you have on the Mystic side is that I like being able to show a little bit from the past. It's a really good way of passing over exposition without someone sitting there with a book going, oh, and so in the past, Emma found this book, and then this book. No, I hate doing that bullshit, so I really like this kind of way of doing it. That's what I like.
It's a better visual.
And yeah, and I really like Emma. I love Emma to bits.
She's so
I'm
cute.
so sorry, but you killed her, that wasn't me.
Yeah, that's all on you.
That is all on you.
Until we discover otherwise.
Equalify. Okay,
Equalify.
so from Twitter and Discord, again, Jess. Technically Jess had this off of Twitter, and it wasn't actually on our AMA or any of those, but I found it when you were doing the live tweet, so I thought we'd answer it anyway. To Cal's voice actor, does that voice hurt to do? And I sent him a message, and Rethix replied very promptly, so I'm very thankful. And he says, no, it doesn't hurt, but it is impossible to maintain for long periods of dialogue because it's so far from my normal voice. My vocal cords simply cannot produce the voice more than 5 minutes or so at a time. And yes, his voice is not naturally that deep. But I
Scary.
think, what is the effects you put on this? Is it just a slight reverb?
Let me think. I know that I have I have it panned a little bit. I have like a pan to the left with a crazy drop off for like a really dark, growly,
One ear you hear
demonish
Satan.
sound. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's panned like all the way left. And then about 30 to the right to kind of balance is just the normal voice. Mm-hmm.
What about balance?
Just some.
No, be quiet, you.
This is all your fault.
You're welcome.
But that's the voice that he can do. There's no other effects
No,
like you do
yeah.
on mine occasionally.
Yeah, what you hear is pretty much what he's doing. I don't really. I mean, you can pretty clearly hear the panning and the reverb.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything else.
Take
Yeah.
your buds, pop one in, pop
Like-
the other. You'll notice it.
Like the first time I listened to it, there's like a 5 second silence at the beginning of the track, and when I first heard him do like the hell, I almost crap myself. I just didn't expect that voice because he's not a tall guy, he's not a big guy. Rethix is kind of basically he's like the same like physicalities almost as I am, except a dude and a lot thinner. But I didn't expect that voice to come out of him, and I almost crapped myself when I first heard it. I honestly did. I'm like, oh, holy shit, dude.
I literally jumped out of my seat the first time I heard his.
Yeah.
What's going to be funny is all the people like me who only listen to podcasts with their right ear because I'm at work and don't have that left earbud in.
Yeah.
Or perhaps the opposite. People only have the left earbud in and they think his voice is just...
You just hear Satan.
Yeah.
Just hear Satan. He did such a good voice. And he does little tweaks in them and it's so good. All right, so that was that question. Back to Facebook from Travis again. What was your worst cooking experience in real life and did it involve fire?
Listen. That was so many episodes ago.
But it was such a good one.
So funny.
Yeah.
Only reason I did it because it was be in character.
So
and it was.
I'll let you start. Worst cooking experience and did it involve fire?
It did, actually, but it wasn't that bad. All it was I was trying to make some barbecue. Something tripped off into the under area with the fire, and the fire kind of really sparked up because I have like a gas grill that's kind of
Gassy.
sensitive.
Oh.
So let's say those burgers were
Flash fried.
raw. They were very raw.
Okay.
It was just crispy on the outside. It's not a good. Nope. They were in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Along with raw.
Raw.
I did say raw.
Oh, okay. I was like, how are they raw? Were they acidic?
They're scaly and they're black dragonborns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Touche. Casey.
Tough on the outside and soft on the inside.
Exactly.
Oh.
Very crunchy outside.
That's
cute.
sickening.
My worst cooking experience, probably this time that when I was in college, I used to have like girls' nights with 3 of my friends, and we do them like maybe once a month, and we just get really drunk on vodka. So one night we decided that we should cook something, and all the chicken was really frozen. So it was 3 insanely drunk girls trying to de-thaw chicken, and it did not work. I'm pretty sure we all got sick. So my advice to you is don't try to thaw chicken from the freezer when you're I think we were like
drunk.
6 vodkas in at that point.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Don't do that.
And we were drinking them straight. We weren't mixing them.
Oh.
Hardcore.
White girls go hard.
Neil.
I mean, Neil's pretty bad at cooking.
What's your worst Taco Bell experience you've had, Neil?
My-
God knows that's all you eat.
Yeah, literally, I'm pretty worthless at cooking. There's been times where I've tried to make eggs and I tried to not make them scrambled, and then
They end up scrambled.
Oh, that happens to me all the
But
time.
then you realize, oh, okay, well, scrambled eggs is not just eggs that are fucked up real bad. There's other things you put in the egg to make scrambled eggs. Well, I don't know. Neil doesn't know these things.
Which, hey, Taco Bell, get in contact with us.
And also burnt chocolate. It's the worst smell ever. If
Oh,
you
gosh, yeah.
try to
Ugh.
melt chocolate to make snacks and it burns.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I want to retract mine and say it was when I was 5 years old and I used an Easy Bake
Oh, no.
container to try to cook dog food for my dog in the microwave, and I melted the dog food and the Easy Bake container because you can't put plastic in the microwave.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
I want to retract it. That was my worst cooking experience.
I don't cook a lot either. Every time, I've been in catering and stuff, but every time I cooked, I would burn myself. So I don't do that. And if I try and cook at home, I tend to cut or burn myself. So I'm kind of uniformly banned from cooking in the kitchen if it's not microwavable or putting in the toaster. But I think probably the worst experience I had, and it didn't exactly involve fire, it involved a lot of heat. I was drunk. And I came home and I made myself an omelette like I do every time I get drunk. I have an omelette because, egg is nature's sponge. Makes you have at least for me, have a little hangover. And I picked up the frying pan by the hot bit between the handle and the pan, and I burnt my hand a bit. It was pretty bad.
That's a good D&D backstory.
It's a great D&D backstory. But no, that was probably the worst. Generally, I try not to cook because it's not that I can't cook. I hurt myself.
Don't worry about it, Neil.
Thank you, Travis. That was a good question. Okay, I can't actually see where we are.
That down.
Oh, no. Favorite meals from Jess. Real quick, favorite meals.
The Taco Bell's
As players or characters?
This is I'm pointing this one to cast. So you as a person, favorite meal.
Me as a person, my favorite meal is sushi.
Sushi's good. Yeah.
Oh, Duck and wild rice salad.
Oh, wow. Good choice.
Taco Bell.
I mean, sushi or like soups. I like soups.
Soups are good.
Yeah.
What kind of soup?
I don't know. I like the Olive Garden. My favorite soup is probably like the terrible Olive Garden soup.
Oh my god.
It's like the Toscana soup.
Neil, you're hurting me.
It's really good.
Neil,
Casey
ladies and
literally
gentlemen.
has her head in her hands right now. I'm like, please don't do this to her. Mine would
It's
be.
good Italian food right there.
I'm going to skate over this before she launches over the table.
Nope, don't do it.
No, on the
Mine's-
real, my mom can make that, and she does it good.
What's it? Okay. Nice.
If I get a pass on that because of that,
Okay.
it's just potatoes and sausage and
Breathe, but breathe
Nice.
quietly.
Nice. Mine would be my mum's pancakes.
Aww.
I can't get any more.
That's
So,
cute.
Oh.
It's my mum's pancakes. They were the best things ever. And they were kind of fluffy and crispy on the outside a little bit, and I've never had pancakes like them since or before, and I can't make them because I'm a terrible cook and I burn myself. So yeah, it'll be my mum's pancakes. So, all right, that was a good quick question. This was from Sam at Sam_Relim. Sam Miller, also on our Discord. For everyone, is there a mum friend in the group, and if so, who is it? It's Katie.
Hi. It's me.
It's Casey. She's always
Casey,
concerned
hi.
about everyone.
It is.
Like, have you had enough sleep? Are you going to bed soon? You should go to bed soon. Maybe if you're driving, you should pull over. Casey has a mum. You have been a great mum since I've been here. Like, looking after me, making sure we're fed and that I'm sleeping well and I have enough blankets
I can't help it.
and a hug pillow. Casey is our mum friend. Although we do have TLD mum, which is your mum now.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're TLD
Neil's
mum.
mom's super supportive of us.
Yeah.
She gave us a hug quota.
Yep.
My mom's listened to like at least
Almost
5 to 10
more than
episodes.
half.
Yeah,
More episodes than my mom's listened to.
Aww.
Same.
which
Same.
is fun and very
My mom
unexpected.
doesn't know how to
that
use
she would ever listen.
Podcast.
Well, the fact that she came down and said, like, you're dying.
Yeah, but
So good.
so it was, I just like wrapped up editing at one point. It was like 7 a.m. My mom's going off to work and I'm about to go to bed because I'm pretty nocturnal.
Uh-huh.
Same.
Literally. I'm about to go to bed and I catch my mom and she just looks at me and she frowns and she's like, "You're dying." And I was like, "What?" Excuse me?
Not something you want to hear before bed.
No.
And she was like, "Oh, and in your podcast." And it wasn't from the episode because if she had listened to the context of the episode, she probably would have understood better. But yeah, she was just talking about Raw. Someone posted on Twitter about Raw dying.
Aww.
And she
Aww.
was like, "Aw."
Aww.
She's funny.
All right, I have a question for you guys. If you could play any other character in TLD, NPC or not, who would it be?
If I could play anyone?
If you
Talvin.
could play anyone else.
Talvin.
Talvin.
I love Talvin.
Yeah, Talvin's a nice guy.
He's like that surrogate uncle that's your father.
Yeah, he's a decent, upstanding guy. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Ama.
Oh, yeah, I don't need an explanation for that.
Probably the same, yeah.
Ama?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of. Oh, Boger might be fun, though.
Neil, I don't think you would ever play such an outgoing character. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, you're way too quiet to be Bogra.
Yeah.
You'd have to be super rowdy and like in everyone's face.
Yeah. But also Ama is pretty, like, upfront, but in a very different way to Bogram.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why they click really well.
Neil would
Because
play
they-
the cutesy side of Ama.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Neil would be good at Benno.
Oh, Benno. Yeah, Benno's nice. Benno's a decent, upstanding. We have really upstanding people in our world. Just that we're not.
Nope.
Nope. I mean, we're the assholes that were in prison.
We're all
so-
murderers.
Yeah.
All right, again from Jess. We love Jess. If the sky started raining blood in real life, what would you do?
It's raining blood.
Hallelujah. No, I would panic. I would first wonder if I've been absorbing too much TLD and thinking, holy shit, am I just stuck in a dream about my own podcast? Realise it's actually raining in real life. Panic, because that's the thing what everyone would do. And then, I don't know. I think panic would probably be it. Yeah. I'm scared of shit.
I'd have a moment of panic. I'd probably wonder, what god did I piss off lately? And then I would run outside and take a blood bath. Yeah, in the blood rain. Because what the fuck else can you do? It's raining blood.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
There's nothing you can do about it. Just enjoy it.
I could promise you I wouldn't notice because I'd be on my computer playing Overwatch and I have missed plenty of weather phenomena before, I'm sure. I wouldn't know because my windows are always shaded and shut, and I am playing games. I'm a nerd, so
We're nerds, yeah.
weather does not apply to me.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't even have a window where I work or where I'm doing anything, so I probably wouldn't notice it unless it started pouring in under the door.
Sunlight turns me to stone.
Ah, that's true. That's why we have all the curtains drawn.
Yeah, I mean, we have it opened a little bit, but that's just so we can see.
Wait, are you a troll?
Only on the
she's a
internet.
troll.
Only on the internet.
Neil?
I would call into work. Sorry, Kyle.
And knowing Kyle, his reaction would be, okay.
You know what?
Yeah, that's fine. I understand.
You just call into Carl like, Carl, dude, it's raining blood. I'm not coming to work today.
And then I'd use the opportunity to get some work done. Caught up on some projects.
That's a good one. I have a question. How did you guys come up with your character voices?
Because I'm bad at all the other voices there are. So I was like, it's just going to be what it is.
Neil and I sat in many Skype calls just going, you should do a voice for Rawl. And Neil being like, I don't want to do one. And I'm like, just do something. And then he was eventually like, okay, well, what if I do something like this? And I'm like, there you go.
Yeah. It's the not Russian.
I think that I was connecting it with like Khajiits from Skyrim for a minute. And now that I've said that, no one's going to be able to unhear that. But
Yeah.
it's, I don't know.
I still don't hear it though. I mean, we said vaguely Russian and neither of their accents are Russian, like in any way, shape, or form.
I think we tried to connect the accent to a
terrible.
country, and
we were like-
it's really not.
It was that
It
very
doesn't exist.
like the very first backstories, the very first recordings we did was me and Neil.
Yeah.
And we did the backstory for Ral, and we both like, this is not Russian.
I don't know what we're doing.
I feel like it's
Whatever.
more of an insult insinuating it was going to be Russian.
Well, I tried. I listened to a
very
lot
insulting.
of stuff. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Russian stuff for a long time, and then when it came to do it, like your accent partly threw me. Listening to myself partly threw me, and now we just have Dragonborn.
Yeah, now we
Now we have Dragonborn because they're similar-ish, but they're not the same. Which would make sense because they're two different people. So
It's true.
Yeah, Neil's bad at voices. I definitely didn't want to do anything over the top eccentric.
Yeah.
So I don't really change my voice much. When I do a character voice, I typically try to do accents, but with an outlandish character like Raw, I just kind of like there's no real world accent to like apply
I think it
to
fits,
that
though.
character.
yeah, I think we've come up with something that's definitely different.
Yeah.
And I really like it. It's just very difficult when I actually have to go do Russian accents because I'm like, no, I'm not talking as Aimer, fuck's sake. So
That's why Emma's dead.
that's why Aimer's dead. No, that's
the
not.
real reason.
We'll get onto why Aimer's dead later. You two.
So in Balance's case, it was very easy. I thought, all right, so I'm an elf. I'm a prince, former prince. A prince formerly known as Balance, laughing. And I was just like, okay, so what if I just do a little bit higher voice, a little bit more windy? And that was about it. I just took my voice and applied the basics of voice acting to it. And
Yeah.
because that's the thing, like with voice acting, the easiest way. So, like for you people that are listening that don't know how to get into it or how to really practice or try, the easiest thing you can do is experiment with bringing your own voice to different levels. Don't do something outlandish. Just like bring it to the back of your throat, make it more windy, make it deeper. Raspy voices are a little iffy if you do it too low in the throat, but
Yeah.
So like Balance's was a bit more windy, a bit higher, and that's about all I did. And it's easier.
Yeah, there are loads of little tips and tricks you can do. There are like cheap ways of making a voice sound different. One is, you completely have a completely different voice, but that's very difficult to do. It's like, it's changing the modulation, changing the pitch very slightly, just go a little bit up, a little bit down. The key is not to go too high or too low because then the voice sounds really fake. So don't do that. There are the ways of speaking, and I do that a lot in our podcast. I will speak a very specific way when I'm talking as specific characters. Like Lindgren is very drawn out, very slow, and very much a dick. There is Sensor, who has a bit of a lisp, but there is Caden, which is blatantly
Stutter.
my voice, but with a stutter. There is Talis, which is high and cute, and there's Demi. Oh my gosh, is Demi the easiest thing for me to do in the world, because it's just me without a filter and without stopping. So yeah, there are loads of little things that you can do. Vocabulary is also a very good one to do it with.
Casey?
And Casey.
Where did you get yours from?
I was originally gonna just do a dwarf voice, and then there was a character in the campaign we were in that Arch was running
Yep.
called Luca, who had a New York
my
accent. And then I was thinking, that since Zoltana was a gangster, it'd be kind of fun to do a weird mix of like New York and Chicago accents. And that's how that happened. And I was kind of like torn for a while too, because I wanted to do something. So Volonda was like, once you choose your accent, let me know what the accent's going to be like, because that will be what we're going to do for that race, which she didn't do, which is probably
For the best.
for dwarves. But I was torn because I felt bad, because I was like, I don't want Volonda to have to do this really convoluted accent I'm creating. And then eventually she was just like, it's okay, do it. If I can't figure it out, I'll just do a regular dwarf accent. And I was like, sounds good. Yeah. So that's how this happened. I really had to get into it. I have to literally like beep, like buzz myself.
Even a little bit.
Just a little bit, just to stat it off.
Yeah. So I was originally intending like all the dwarves sound very similar, and in the end I'm like, oh man, I can't do your accent, even anywhere near do your accent. So I've basically decided everyone comes from different places. Everyone, like, even where I come from in England, there are like dozens of accents, even like a couple of like, not even 10, 15 miles apart. So I was like, fuck it. The dwarves directly around Zoltana will be as American, New Jersey, Chicago, Boston, New York as I can get it.
Bronx, Long Island, Chicago.
Okay, so everything will be as close to Zoltana as I can get. The people are very close to her. Everyone else will be from all different places. So some of the dwarves will be Scottish, some of the dwarves will be slightly, not Russian, because that is specifically I'm holding across. All of the people from Kino will specifically be my shitty American. But otherwise they'll be from everywhere and anywhere, so...
I still find it funny that you consider that American.
It's not. It's totally not.
My name is Kathir.
Oh my god. That's...
There's no R in her name.
That's that story.
Kathir.
No R.
Okay, so back to Sam. Thank you. If you and your characters existed in the same world, what characters do you realistically see yourselves being friends with, and which ones do you see yourselves absolutely hating or finding annoying?
None of them.
None of them friends or none of them annoying?
Both. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. At least for me, because of the way I am socially IRL, I would not be hanging out with Laffian/Balance because he's kind of a pompous prick sometimes.
Yeah.
Zoltana's an asshole. And
she's not.
Rawl is self-destructive.
That's fair.
So I probably would not be friends with any of them.
You also ultimately wouldn't hate any of them because you wouldn't spend any time with them or near them.
Exactly. You cannot have an opinion. Well, you can't really have an opinion of someone that you just don't interact with.
Interesting. Casey?
I feel like I'd be friends with Odette, and then I just think of Zoltana as her really obnoxious girlfriend, wife, whatever.
Zoltana's the high maintenance one in the relationship.
I love Zoltana as a character, but I do not think that she and I would get along very well because she's just very
bitchy.
No, I don't think she's bitchy. Like, she's in a really bad place. I'm thinking of Zoltana like if this was the real world, her wife, what happened to Odette wouldn't have happened to Odette. So she would be, I'm thinking the way that she was before going, on a murder spree.
That's an interesting question. Do you consider Zoltana when she's with Odette the true version of Zoltana?
Yeah.
So, like, beforehand,
Absolutely.
she was influenced by the family that she was with, and afterwards, she's basically left on a self-destructive course. She sees Zoltana when she's with Odette, so Odette literally is her other half.
Yeah, they're soulmates. I see...
OTP.
I see Odette, like, the real Odette is the Odette that was... Not the real Odette. The real Zoltana is the Zoltana that she was when she was traveling with Odette, and I think that having Odette... thinking Odette died, because at this point everyone's going to know that she's not dead.
That's true.
Yet.
Thinking Odette died, really like ripped her heart into, and
Dick.
and it tore like a part of her out that, like I think I said in character, she said, my heart was torn out, and that like. Odette was 100% her heart, and she had to, like, to survive, she felt like she had to go hard and, like, become harder on the like, a harder person, and to make herself feel like anything meant anything, she had to, go on, like, that killing spree. Was it the right thing to do? probably not. You know, like it just. But that's.
Is becoming a wanton serial murderer a bad thing? Yeah, probably.
I'm actually curious how that interacts with your god being the god of like justice and all that. Where the line is going to be, where you're suddenly going to have a vision from Tyr.
Iguafe.
Yeah,
That's a conversation Casey and I are Iguafe. So yeah.
Yeah. So
It's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd be friends. I think maybe I could be friends with Zoltana like the way that she used to be, but I also think she was still a little high maintenance.
Yeah. Oh my god, is she?
And I think Odette would be. I would be really good friends. And back when I was in college, I would have been really really good friends with Elise.
Yeah. Basically, what you're saying is Tears are regulars.
Yeah, I would definitely love to join Tears of Regulars. And I don't feel like I'd like Balance at all. In real life.
Balance wouldn't interact with the peasants.
No, let's be honest. Yeah, he wouldn't, unless he has to. Like being hung with them, being forced to be together. There's no reason to hang out with you peasants.
And I feel like I really like Raul as a character, but I don't feel like I would hang out with him because I feel like I'd be friends with Ama, but I don't feel like I'd be friends with Raul because I think that he just seems really, like he's really self-destructive, and I've had enough friends that are like that, and I just can't handle.
And speaking of Raul, what about you?
I, kind of knowing Raul and the situation that he's in and being with, and having to deal with, think that I would probably get along with Raul because he's very easy to please.
Spam the kink button.
He just wants to hang out. He's nice. He's very easy to please. And even though contrary to how things have been so far with having to deal with everything right out of prison and not really expecting to be doing that, he's not really all pessimistic. He needs optimism, and he doesn't like to dwell in it as much as he has been. So I think that we would have gotten along, and I don't know, he's just a very easygoing person.
What about the other two? Do you think you get along with Balance or Zoltana in real life?
Balance, I could see. It's hard.
You can say no. We won't be offended.
Balance in
We said we wouldn't hang out with our own characters. So.
No. Balance in his current iteration is not the friend he needs to be. He's working on it.
I think he's a work in progress for sure.
I think that I would recognize that, like, Balance is a good person, but I just don't think that I would have anything in common with him to be able to, like, you know, hang out or, you know.
He's probably fun to play Mario
socialize.
Kart with.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he'd be like one of those people that if he like if anyone threw a blue shell at him, he'd just fucking flip out and like throw the.
No, because I think from Talvin's tutelage, I don't think he would be a sore loser.
All right, move on. Twitter and Discord again at Jess. Yay, Jess. What's your favourite thing about your fellow cast members? Keep it short and sweet because nobody wants to blush too much.
We all play Overwatch together.
Now,
That's it. I love it. It's fun, especially because we bullshit.
Yeah, I like that we can all spend a lot of time with each other outside of the podcast and still get along. I think that's great.
And how we talk in character. Just make fun of each other.
Yeah.
I like how Casey is insane. You're just fun as hell.
I was like, wow, insane, Jesus.
No, in a good way. Just like you come up with so random things that are off the wall. They just make me laugh all the time. Just make staying at your house has been even like an even bigger window into how much I adore you.
You haven't seen Crazy Casey till you've seen her get mad at a Sombra.
I have seen that.
That Sombra can eat my entire dick.
I like how inquisitive you are, even in real life. Yes, you ask a lot of questions.
Your inquisitive nature.
You are very down to earth when you need to be, and you are also insanely hilarious. That's what I like about you. And you come up with interesting character concepts. And you, what is there to say about you, man?
Neil is chill AF.
He is chill AF. I always feel like I want to give you a hug when you do the little sad voice.
Yeah.
And you are insanely talented.
Thanks.
And you are fun to hang out with. Sometimes you just say things very quietly that are just the funniest things in my opinion. That's what I love about you guys.
It's true.
Yeah, I think echoing the idea, the fact that we can just hang out outside of this pod is just really good for me. I really love it. I love you guys.
I like all of that stuff. I like that. Okay, so to be like super cheesy, I like the things I like best about my fellow castmates. Let's see. I really like how creative Volley is. And, like, if I wasn't the mom friend, I think you'd end up being the mom friend because you're just so sweet. Like, I was saying something earlier and about, like, a nightmare I had or something, and you were just like, I think she was like, I think it's that you are afraid you're going to become a corporate drone, but you have too much personality, Casey, and you're so sweet. And, like, I just, like, you're such a nice person, and, like, you really... Like, especially with, like, how stressed out I've been because of the job thing, you've been really helping and, like, boosting me up. You're such a nice person.
Thank you.
And Arch, I like that even though we give each other a lot of shit, like, I can tell that we're, like, really good friends. And, like, you never make me, like, even with my anxiety, feel like you have
We're
to
the
make
Ash and
me.
Gary of the podcast.
And I think that I really like, I think you're also really creative. I like that everybody here is, like, really creative. And
I mean, I wouldn't have considered myself nearly as creative as Neil, to be honest. Like,
no, I mean,
Same.
you're creative in different ways, though. Like, Neil's creative with music and stuff, but, like, you're, like, I've been in, 3 campaigns now that you've DM'd, and, like, they all had their very distinctive feel, and I just think also, like, you're a really good DM. Like, I really miss being in a campaign that you DM, because you're really good at it.
thank you.
And, Neil, I really like that you're, like, amazing with music, even though... And then when I ask you, I also really like that when I ask you, like, what you're doing with music, you're just like, I don't know. But something, somehow literally everything that comes out of you music-wise is amazing.
I have a SoundCloud. I use it for things, but, like, I don't know.
I post ideas on there so that I don't forget them.
And I love
like a
having you as a player in my campaign. You're really fun to, like, bullshit with out of game, too. Like,
yeah.
I love having you as a player in my campaign that we do on Saturday nights, Rick and Rio, and check it out. Sorry. Because, like, when you were, like, sending me all that shit, like, you have so many ideas, and I know, like, we always make fun of you for it, but it's so cool that you have, like, so much going on in your head.
Yeah.
And then we turn, like, half of it down.
Yeah. Some of you turn half of it down.
Literally the only things I've turned down that Neil has asked me for are kittens.
Yeah.
I think that's literally the only thing, and playing Ulrich's dad if Ulrich dies. Those are literally the only 2 things. Like, he was like, I want a teapot, and I was like, fine. I want to be able to have these arrows do these things. Fine.
I want a beanbag chair.
It makes sense.
And yet, no sushi.
And yet, no.
You're not on the coast. Why would we have sushi?
No, you kind of are a little bit on the coast. You're close to the coast. But why would they give sushi in prison? This was my thing.
Well, if one of us had
No
asked for
sushi
it for our
prison.
last meal,
I would have come up with something.
should have asked for it for your last meal, Neil.
No, I fucked up.
Too late. I'll tell you, if you guys ever get hung again and I give you a last meal, if you ask for sushi, I may consider giving it to you.
We're always hung. I just winked at her.
That's
That's
so weird.
But-
Neil, you're the only one who's answered that question yet.
Do I? What's your favorite thing about it? The categories?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Volonda.
Mm-hmm.
You're...
You can stop there. Nailed it. Good. Move on.
That's the entire answer.
You kind of accept all of my ideas
Yeah, that's true.
and think on kind of the same wavelength. Like, very easy because all my ideas are really dumb.
Yeah.
And Casey also. And Mark also. Like, everyone just kind of deals with me, and I like that.
Because we like you.
We like you.
So what you're saying is you're like that we tolerate the stupid shit you do.
Yes.
I don't think your ideas are that stupid.
You
No,
haven't seen his
no.
new character idea.
Honestly,
Yes, I have. He sent it to me.
You sent it to her?
I did, yes.
Oh my
I read
God.
it.
Yeah. It's very brief.
I
You didn't
wouldn't-
even send me the backstory
I wouldn't
yet.
say your ideas are
It's like a
version
brief.
2
I
or
would say your
something.
ideas are stupid. Your ideas are off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, on occasion, they will come out of nowhere. I'm like, how did you arrive at that?
Off the wall or
That
off
is
the
weird.
ceiling?
Off everything, man. And there is no room
In
which can
space.
contain your ideas. And I love that. I love the fact you throw stuff. In fact, you're all very good at it. Just throwing stuff at me, just as like, what the hell did this come from? This is awesome. But there's that beanbag chair. That's probably the best example of the crazy shit you've thrown at me. I love it.
I think the beanbag chair. Yeah.
It was just a very sheepish way that you asked. Can I have a beanbag chair? I'm like, oh my god. I want to say no on a level of that's dumb, but on another level, I'm like, that's so good. It's so freaking
Also,
good.
it's a bag with beans in it. You can't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it doesn't exist. Because
right.
it's a bag with beans in it.
Before we circle Jack much more, Neil, you had a question. It's your question. You ask it.
What? He didn't compliment me or Arch.
Oh, he didn't? Compliment. He did. He said he loved the way you deal with his shit.
I know, I'm just joking.
We should genuinely move on though.
Yeah, no, I
think we could forever doing
I was
this.
just
Yeah, it's
joking.
like-
Don't worry
Neil,
about
if you
it.
want to show me love later, that's fine.
Yes, we all love each other very much.
We will love each other. We're good friends.
No homo.
Who is
No, all homo.
All homo, excuse us. Yeah.
Excuse you.
Fair.
Whoa.
At
We'll get
least-
onto that in a minute. We'll get
At
onto
least
that in a minute.
half homo.
Fair.
Yeah, anyway.
who is your favorite NPCs?
Didn't we already do this one like a second ago?
You're looking at me. My favourite NPC is Ama.
Well, no, it was who would we want to play?
Oh.
Yeah, and who do you like interacting with? For me, it's Ama. If I could play a character in our world, it would be Ama. Even though she's dead, like her history, the stuff you don't know about, and I'm so sorry, I would play Ama. Because, you know, she's... I think someone like put it on either on Twitter or on Discord. Is like, Ama is a badass. She's a political badass. She likes going up front and getting in trouble. She's very protective of her friends and very protective of Ral. I love her, and she has that sensitive side that we found out back when we did the backstories episode. It's like she needs Ral as much as he needs her, and I love it. I love that relation. I love Ama. So yeah, it'll be Ama. All right, Sam. Back to Sam again. How long have you guys played D&D before creating this podcast?
Oh, God.
2 years? Probably about 2 years.
That's all you've played?
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle introduced me to D&D.
About 9 years?
2 years, I think, also for real D&D. I used to play, like, D&D based tabletops that my friends and I would, like, homebrew in college. But
So role-playing, how long have you done that?
oh, shit. Like, actual, like, role-playing in
Like,
general?
TTPRGs. Like tabletop.
tabletop.
role-playing is.
Okay, just
Let's do
tabletop.
yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, role-playing in general, I've been doing since I was, like,
5, yeah.
really young. 2010, so 8 years?
Probably 11 to 12
Damn.
at this point, yeah. I mean, we started when we were probably 16 or 17. It tells you my age. 16 or 17-ish. But I did forum play-by-post before that. And I did that since I was like 13 or 14, so
Yeah, that I've done.
yeah.
I did a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, forum role plays. I've been
Forum
doing.
role players, you did that a while.
Oh my god, I used to do them on YouTube. I was in
The Dark
we
Age
were-
of Naruto.
The Dark Age.
Yeah, the Naruto. Yep, the Naruto role playing. We used to role play on YouTube. Oh god, that makes me feel old.
God.
Cool. Next. It's you again, Neil.
No, it's not.
Here it is. It's on. It's you, dude. That's you.
Oh, okay.
That's your name.
Okay.
Who are you?
Who are you again?
Okay.
Why are you in my
What
house?
moments
He's older
so
than me.
far
Yes,
have
okay.
made you most proud and most disappointed of the PC's world interactions or plot progress?
Fireball.
No, that's not a disappointment.
That was a disappointment for me.
The proudest I've ever been of you guys was probably those little scenes after and when you guys went to your shitty little rundown shack, which is kind of your shitty base of operations.
For now.
You guys went there and you guys had a conversation which I put my hands up in the air for like a good 20 minutes. And it was conversations between when Raoul came out and said that he tripped a bitch or something along those lines and he had to do fighting to get food for his family. Sultana came out and basically said, I'm not a bitch. I give a shit. This is all about my family and about a debt. And, Laffian, balance.
Same thing.
This is why I trip, because I think of him as Laffian, because that's how he's written in my notes, because that's his real name. So that's how I'm noted and everything, so that's why I struggle with balance. And the fact that you interact with them in such a way, and you had that, especially after you had the moment with Sultana, where you went for a walk and broke and came back and apologised, that scene, that there was the proudest I've been of all three of you, just as a group. I mean, there's individual bits for each of you, but I'm not going to go into that. But as a group, that was my favourite bit I loved about you all. And you have not disappointed me in any way, shape or form.
Aw.
Ever. Because even if you go down the dark side of Met Collins, I find that shit interesting. So I'm going to be disappointed in... I can't be disappointed in you guys.
Aww.
So, that was genuine.
Mom.
I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed at the fireball.
I wasn't disappointed in any of you.
I was just mad because he said, Raul, don't touch anything. Okay, balance.
Balance
Balance.
put something in his backpack, and I purposely didn't touch anything.
Except the cut
was-
gem in the mine that hasn't been
That
excavated.
was man-made. I didn't touch anything down there.
That gem
that couldn't
Totally.
have originated from the mine.
It was
and
cut.
yes, I know it was sitting on a pillow. I know. I know. It was suspicious.
The thing is, like, the room that you went
purposely-
into was clearly filled with cursed things. Clearly things that were going to hurt you. And you were like, what do I find
Balance put something in
interesting?
his backpack, though.
for a very good reason.
Yes. Very cool reason. I'm glad
That
that you
Rawl
did
was
so well.
not aware of.
Yeah. You don't share. You have to talk, bros.
We'll get there. We just
could find something.
got back to Folsom, so like
Yeah, possibly. Who knows where you're going?
And also, Rawl's very hands-on.
Aww. Also,
Pink button.
Yeah, kink button. All the kink buttons. In from Jess, what's your favourite candies?
My favorite what?
candy.
Oh.
Candy.
That's a
It's hard because I like lots of candies.
I don't really eat candy.
I like sour
I guess
candy.
chocolate? Does that count?
I don't know. Is there a
It's a
specific
candy.
chocolate?
Sure. I like white chocolate.
Me too.
Ugh.
Chocolate's such
White
a broad...
chocolate and raspberry.
Oh god.
White
That's
chocolate
my
with
shit.
white chocolate with strawberry. There's
Huh.
like this Japanese candy that's like white chocolate with like a strawberry inside, and it's like the best thing ever.
Chocolate's not good for me unless I pay like $4 for a bar of chocolate. Like, unless you get like the good stuff, chocolate's like bland for me.
Oh yeah, like Hershey's, like they make it like that. Call us Hershey's,
can
we'll
eat
still
Hershey's.
advertise for you.
Neil, you actually
Chill
got to have
Hershey's.
my favorite candy the other night when you got here.
Yeah.
The jelly rings.
Yeah.
It's like a kosher Jewish dessert snack thing. It's jelly rings. Oh, they're so good.
Ew,
I could eat a whole box.
those are disgusting. Those are my one of my least favorite things about
It's
Passover.
my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
Those and matzah, like the two of those, I could
Yeah,
live
you
without.
and Lexi hate on matzah, and then I'm over here like, throw some fucking cream cheese on it. It's delicious.
I like Sour Patch.
God,
Kids.
you're
Oh,
disgusting.
actually, yeah. I think
Sour
sour
Patch is so
sweets
good.
are also my favourite stuff.
Sour Belt, Sour Patch Kids. I really like those. I don't know how to explain what they are. I don't know how to explain what they are, but they're little fruit. They're like raspberries and blackberries.
And they're covered
They're
in
little
sugar.
sprinkles.
Oh, the fruit slices.
Yeah.
No,
fruit
no, no.
slices.
Not fruit slices. They're
No.
little round jellies
Okay.
Mike and Ike's?
that, no. They don't have like a name. You get them at, well, I think Jelly Belly makes some. But they're blackberries and raspberries, the little
Oh, I know what you're talking
tiny
about. They
jelly
kind of
things
like
with the sprinkles. on
yeah,
them.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't. Yeah, I've seen those at like penny candy stores.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Really
don't
good.
generally eat candy either, but it will be white chocolate otherwise. So, if not, I'll just eat anything.
Yeah.
To be honest, I like at home, I'm normally very, very fussy, but since like coming out here and going out to Sweden the other weekend, I've just like, I'm going to try everything and anything. So anyone shoves things at me, I'll eat it and try it. So, yeah, I'll eat
It's
human
true.
trash can right
I'll
now.
have to give you one of the jelly rings later. You have to tell me whether or not it's good.
And
Okay.
she's been a real sport about it.
I have. I did vegan food at the weekend, and I'm not a big fan of not having meat, but I generally like it so much that I think I might go home and look into it. So, thanks, Travis and Kaylin. Okay, so another question from the Starwell: if Neil, Casey, Arch, and Volonda were all D&D characters, what race and class would you be? Dwarven Bard. Nailed it. Dwarven Valor Bard specifically.
I don't know. I don't feel like I can. I feel like I can't answer that for myself because I don't know how other people see me. I just know how I see
Halfling.
myself.
Yeah, but how you see yourself?
Halfling.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd fit into D&D.
Well, you can multi-class.
Yeah, I play D&D to like get away from this. I don't bring any of me to D&D.
To be
could be
fair,
a
Neil,
bard,
you are a
sweetie.
bard.
Yeah, Neil,
be a
you would
bard.
100% be a bard.
Yeah. You would be a law bard, I think, because they're more into the music and the background stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be a Valor bard because
You're-
that's way too upfront. And I don't think you'd be a
Yeah.
swords bard because, again, that's way too upfront.
You're
I
pretty
think you'd-
tall,
don't
so I
feel
feel
like
like
I'm, like,
elf.
I don't feel like I'm poppy and optimistic enough to like
Half
fit the role
elf.
of bard.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to, because
No.
bard's kind of a broad stroke.
They have a mournful bard too.
Yeah.
Which is actually, there you go.
If you
You'd
can't
be
tell
like,
by all my sad ass music that I put in
Discord.
the show.
Listen, man,
Discord bard.
I once in a one shot played an emo bard.
oh,
so
that was
like,
fucking hilarious. Yeah.
he did the hair flip. You could be my emo bard.
Yeah. I think you'd be a
I think his
half-elf
name was
bard.
Damien.
I think it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Damien.
Me, a halfling, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you're very like energetic and bouncing
That
off
is
the
true.
walls.
Yeah.
I think I probably would be a bard too, but like a storytelling bard.
Yeah.
Feel like because I like telling stories
Yeah. That's why I picked Valor Bard.
with a
because
scholar background.
I do like the whole talky thing, I do the shitty singing thing on occasion, and I do the occasional rhyming thing, and I will always be up front if people are in trouble. I'm like, fuck you, get out of my face, I will get you beaten down.
So what I'm hearing is that we have a table of 3 bards, and then I feel like I'm just like an elf wizard.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically an elf wizard.
We are a really unbalanced party.
Oh.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because 3 bards and a wizard can essentially blow up the world.
Yeah.
That's fair. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It'll be a pretty
Like, there are-
unbalanced party when balance
It's like the one picture you see on-
Hey. Everyone gets one.
Thanks. Good job.
Oh my
It's like the one picture online where it's like a giant lava crater and it just says either a wizard rolled a 20 or a bard rolled a 1.
Yes.
Yep.
With 3 bards rolled a 1 and a wizard. All right, so a question from Jess and from me, because I had this in my questions and then Jess posted it as well. What other podcasts do you listen to?
Oh, we get to do some shout outs here.
Hell yeah.
Massive shout outs. We have to shout out Taking Initiative and As on a Roll because they're our brother and sister and I genuinely do listen to them.
Yep.
I'm not caught up because I'm a terrible person.
Same.
I also think we should shout out Venture Maidens.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
What is it? Dungeon Drunks.
Dungeon Drunks, they're cool with us, yep.
Yeah, we're
don't actually
friends.
listen
We're
to them,
friends
but-
with them too. I listen. They're pretty.
I am too far behind on my list of podcasts. I feel like it goes without saying, Critical Role. Like
Is that technically a podcast?
Yeah.
they
they're
do.
podcasts
They
now, yeah.
have the podcast. And I've been listening to them for almost 7 months now, listening to the first campaign, which I know people are like, too big of a backlog. You know what? Screw you, it's amazing.
It is pretty. It's good. I mean, there are moments, same as everything.
There are
so,
moments, but like the epic moments are like,
really good. Yeah. For me, it's my brother and me because I freaking
Neil's going to say Adventure Zone.
Neil turned me onto the Adventure Zone, and I got turned on to my brother and me because of that, and also Sawbones and. Oh my gosh, I feel I should shout the podcast I'm out on. I really
Yeah, you
should.
should.
I need to shout out The White Vault because it is The Thing kind of story, and I have a voice in there. Technically,
love
I have
White
2
Vault.
voices now. The
White
White Vault.
Fox School. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that, so please go check that out. And I genuinely, I read it through in one hit, and then I listened to it, and I was blown away the second time. Yeah, I'm going to shout that out.
I listen to My Favorite Murder, Worst Bestsellers. I like My Dad Wrote a Porn. That's a really fucking funny podcast.
Yes, I've heard a couple of bits of that.
That's an
I
interesting
even have
title.
the book. Well, because the dude's dad legitimately wrote like a Kindle porn, and they just read it on the podcast and make fun of it. It's hilarious. I think it's called Volonda Blanked is the name of the porn. It's it's so terrible. It's so funny. I love that podcast. Unsolved Crime Garage, I think is the one of them that I think that's what it's called. The Dollop. What is it called? Pod Save America. The Bugle.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like Casey, you listen to a lot.
I do, and they're really varied too. I listen to In the Weeds, because I like getting my I like to try to like get the news, but like watching the actual news depresses me, so I like listening to.
That's what Reddit's for.
No, I like listening to Pod Save America and In the Weeds because they have very like interesting takes on things, and they're really good. And those are really the ones I listen to the most, I feel like.
Neil?
The first podcast I ever listened to was Adventure Zone, as I was getting into D&D. And I mean, I've got to say that's probably still like my favorite one, because it really kind of opened the door. Like later on in Adventure Zone, when Griffin starts doing all the music and stuff for it, it kind of really made me think about, hey, like that might be something that I could like try. And he was doing music that that you wouldn't like see in a typical fantasy setting. He was using like synthesizer stuff all throughout the what is the Crystal Crystal Kingdom?
Oh, the Crystal Kingdom. Yeah, that's when he really came into his own.
I was like, hey, like he's putting like his own flavor of music in there. This isn't just like strings and orchestral stuff that you would put in a fantasy thing. You can put your own flavors in it. And so I was like, hey.
Yeah, it was genuinely like, as soon as he started putting music in properly and going for it, holy crap, did that make a difference.
Yeah, it really expanded the experience.
Yeah,
And I was like maybe that's worth giving a shot. And so that's kind of like the whole reason that I'm here. So that one, I've enjoyed The Glass Cannon. I have enjoyed Radiolab's fun. That's all.
I have 3 more to add.
Go.
Welcome to Night Vale.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's kind of an obligatory, like, just it's really entertaining for me. Dungeon Master's Block, I actually do enjoy listening to them because it's interesting to get other perspectives on dungeon mastering.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the podcast formerly known as Thread Raider Podcast. I believe now they're called Nerdy Point of View.
Pass.
I actually really like listening to them just because it's kind of interesting. They talk about like just random topics that like they'll have a different topic that people submit to them and they'll talk about it. at one point they were talking about like what's your favorite local like spooky story stuff. I mentioned the Pine Barrens with the New Jersey Devil to them.
Yes.
And they were like, oh my God, that was great.
I love that. Which reminds me, there's 2 other podcasts I listened to that I forgot, which are Stuff You Missed in History Class, and Two Girls, One Ghost, which is Two Girls, One Ghost is so good. They just talk, like, they have a different, like spooky theme every week, and they talk about, like, they each do a ghost story, and, like, I love it. They are so fun. They're kind of like my favorite murder, but for, like, ghost stuff, and I'm really into that kind of stuff. So,
I dig it. I'm in. I dig it. Okay. Next question again from Jess. What is the best or worst tabletop role-playing experience you've ever had? Keep it short and keep it a 1. Pick either. I have mine, so I'll let you guys go first. Unless you need time to think.
Need a minute.
Okay. My best and worst tabletop experience. It was worse for me because it emotionally killed me, but the best because I had that such emotional response. I was playing a game with my friend Skageth and with Rethix, funny enough. That dick. And I was playing a character who had essentially sold either her soul or a favour to a ghost to bring Rethix's character back to life. Rethix's character then dies to save mine. And he is sitting as a ghost in a bar, in this diner, and my character goes to speak to him because eventually she can see him. And they have a little conversation, and he turns to her and says, I see that you've been speaking to your husband. Oh, wait, you haven't. And I have never in my life wanted to reach through a Zoom call and punch a guy's face more than I did in that moment. There is so much linked to that it would take 20 minutes to explain the story and why it was so like emotionally horrible for me. But I genuinely wanted to punch his lights out, and he knows this. I've told him many times, but that was probably my first, because it's the first time that I've actually properly felt emotion playing a role-playing game. And it was great and amazing, but emotionally raw. It was the best and the worst thing in my life. So, there you go. Short and sweet. Neil?
I feel like any bad tabletop RPG experiences are probably due to me and dumb ideas. So I'm gonna leave the worst ones up, but the best has probably been this.
Oh,
Aww.
oh wow. Now I feel like an asshole.
I enjoy our group, and I enjoy like the creativity that we,
Oh, Arch.
I'm not going to mention worst ones because I find that those are usually
I
just
skip
due
over
to
those.
it's usually semantics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best though was the original campaign that I was DMing that had Chris and Casey in it.
Santa.
No, not that. That was a bad one, and that was me being a bad DM. That was my first time DMing, so I felt a little insecure about it. I loved that there was a budding romance between the Warforged Paladin of Paylor and a quarter vampire Way of the Long Death monk who were like kind of falling in love with each other because the Warforged didn't understand that it was love or what that meant. And it eventually caused Casey to write a fanfic.
I did.
And I feel like as a DM, there is nothing more complimenting to the fact that you've done good than the PCs falling in love with each other and someone writing a non-canonical story about it. Because that just says to me that I've created a world where people love what is happening in it, and it's created this kind of bond. Like, that was the best moment for me because I felt like I did it.
Aww.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Like when we've received the fan art for this, my heart just explodes because it's something that we've created together, like as a four. Like this is a thing we've done,
and people portray it
exactly. And people are like, "Hey, I want to draw this." I'm just like, "Holy shit!" Something we've been why? Like something we've been involved in. Why are people?
We're just weird nerds. Why do you like us?
Exactly. I still have that innocent anxiety of like, why are people paying attention to
like
me?
Mad imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I get that feeling. I know exactly what I'm about.
Say, I've had a lot of really good experiences, but I'm going to talk about one. So I was in this long ass campaign in college that wasn't D&D. It was like a tabletop, but I'm going to count it anyway.
Yep.
And everybody in my anime club was in this thing, so we'd all play, and whoever was in the cafeteria would play. And this is one of the reasons I was failing my classes in college, was because I would skip classes so I could go play D&D, or quote unquote D&D. So the arc of the campaign was ending. So the DM had a giant sleepover at his house with everyone who was in the campaign, which was like, I think 30 people. And we had 4 different sessions running at the same time. He had, I guess, like, given a couple people, like, permission to run some sessions for him. Mm-hmm. So, and then we all got together at the end of those, and it was like this big finale arc, and it was amazing. It was probably one of the coolest experiences. Like, I don't know how it should not have logistically worked, but it worked so amazingly. And I think about that a lot because it was really fun.
I'm hoping we're going to when we get to see that sort of thing happen, it's going to be great. Like the big, like, end finale war where we call in all the guests and everything, and then...
Yeah.
And it was great, too, because in that campaign, he had everybody playing both a character on the good side and a character on the bad side. And my characters were twins. So it was really fun. It was that was like, actually the bad one was one of my favorite characters I've ever played, Jezebel. She was fantastic, and I loved getting to be evil. It was so good.
Oh, that's awesome. Everyone said, I like the fact we've all picked something positive. I genuinely do. Because worse things are just not good.
Yeah, focusing on the bad is bad.
Yeah, exactly. And like, nah, fuck that. You know, we're getting away from this shit. Sure. So we've moved on to a new little section called campaign and episodes. It's a bit more specific. Mm. So the first question comes from my friend Spanners. Spanners on Twitter at Spanners_BTP or at I_am_Spanners. She's a hilarious woman. She plays with us, plays with me on a Monday night and occasionally on a Friday night. And her question is, how long does it take you to gel with a new character, and does it always have to be love at first play?
Like us as our PCs, you mean?
Yeah, with these particular ones. Was it love at first play, or is it a case of like, it's taken me time to get into them, but now I'm good?
For me, I always kind of tend to write a whole backstory story first,
yes,
so that I can get so that I can get into the character. So for me, that's how I get into them. So I'm generally pretty into their mindset by the first or second session.
That's good.
It's pretty much the same way with me now. Way back when I first started playing 5th edition, it was a bit harder. It took me time to get into the character. Now though, like if I start writing up a character, by the time we get to session 1, I'm already, like, in the character. Mm-hmm. Personality-wise, it might alter based on certain interactions from the get-go. Like, Balance, as he is now, was not how I originally thought he was going to be pre-episode 1. Mm. And it just kind of... The character creates itself.
It does, for a huge part of it. Like, the experiences you go through will definitely change the way you want to react. Sometimes you think, oh, that would work better if I was this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found it like, I'd say way back when it was much more difficult for me to get into a character, but now because people focus a lot more on character creation and how to build them, it's a lot easier to get into it before you start.
I think that it really is, for me, it like, I will know in the first session if I'm going to enjoy the character or not.
Same.
Yeah.
So how you like Roll?
Roll's fun.
Yeah.
After the amount of shit you put me through,
I would hope so.
I will fucking kill you.
I'm just going to change characters now.
Please don't do that.
Oh,
He's going to play Ulrich's dad.
Ulrich's dad.
On
yeah,
TLD.
if Raul
dies. Not a chance. Next question.
Oh, I'm here from Kino. Blah, 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 blah.
No, if you come from Kino, it's got to be the shitty American that I do.
I mean, why can't be Kino?
We're actually shitty Americans.
Yeah.
Oh, then you're naturally cast.
We just talk with our normal voices.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
It's from Neil.
Whose character do you think still holds the most secrets?
Raul.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's an
technically
opinion.
Ama, but I'm counting that as Raul.
Oh, yeah, there's, I mean, this is kind of co-imparts with this one.
Yeah.
There's an NPC one later.
I actually agree with Raul just because of the pure fact that he comes from a land that still has a big question mark on it.
I agree.
You
That's
can ask
actually
some
why I
questions.
agree. But it's like he still holds them. It's not he's not deliberately holding them. It's just that I think he's the person that would hold the most knowledge outside of everyone
Raul is like that computer where if you don't ask it the right questions, it's not going to know to give you the answer.
Yeah.
That's true.
And to be fair, he wouldn't willingly give most of this information out. He wouldn't consider it, I don't think. So I agree. I think it would be wrong.
Yeah.
So also I have to guapo some of these questions. Sorry. So.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is from Sam. How much do you relate to your characters?
Not a lot.
I'm gay.
All right, so this one I'm actually gonna put on my big boy pants here for a second.
Oh dear.
What were you wearing before?
Just my regular pants.
He's just wearing shorts and now he's wearing trousers.
Yeah.
Sorry, well, shorts and now he's wearing pants. Weirdos.
So, I am of the opinion that any D&D character that someone makes, if you get into character and really roleplay it, I think to me that says that character is part of you in some way.
Yeah.
So, you and I, Volonda, we were having a talk about this before. Each of the characters that I've played so far has in some way been a part of my personality as a whole, but segmented. Mm-hmm. So Balance is very much my like inquisitive, questioning everything side.
If you end this sentence with nature, so help me God.
No.
Thank you.
It's not my...
Please don't.
Inquisitive nature?
Please
Okay.
just...
It's Balance is very much that side of me where I question things. I'm not very trusting of a lot of stuff. I have difficulty with making friends at a certain point. Mm-hmm. And then by comparison, me playing Hassan on the Saturday night stream that we do, it's a very different thing because that's more of my side that's like, I can be a dick. I can kind of just do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Like, it's just funny. But like, it's all part of the same person. They're all part of me, just in segmented ways that make it where they're all one extreme or another.
Yeah, that's the really good thing about role-playing is that you can take those bits of yourself that you want to explore but don't want to have in the world. Like, I want to explore how much of a dick I am, but I don't want to do it in a way that's going to hurt anyone. Role-playing allows you to do it without hurting anyone because there is always that wall of, this isn't actually me. Like, yes, I know I'm a dick and I'm a complete word I won't be using on the stream, but I'm allowed to explore it in a way that says, this isn't me. If it's me in the real world, I would never say or do these things, even though I may think them or I may, part of me, think that this is true. It's not who I want to project out. Role-playing allows you to do that aspect. So I think it's a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Zoltan and I probably have some things in common. But I feel like I definitely wouldn't go out and murder people. But I feel
I
like...
would hope not.
Yeah, we hope not.
I feel like I also have had a lot of... I have, like, some anger issues. I've had anger issues in the past. And I feel like I've been also, like her, like, very hurt. So I get to explore, like, the consequences of, like, giving in to, you know, the hurt and really, like, pushing it away, I guess. So, like, through very extreme means. Like, I would never do that. But, like, it's an interesting character concept to explore. I don't know if I agree that, like, when you role play a character, like, really well, it means that you're like that character. I think it's also acting.
Yes,
you know,
there
a
is
lot of
a huge
acting.
degree of acting, yeah.
I feel like I've had a lot of characters that are nothing like me. But I also feel like when I used to have a lot of characters that were very much me projecting, like, my insecurities into a character. Like, when I was younger, all my characters were alcoholics. And I recently, by recently, I mean, like, 4 years ago, started getting sober. So, you know, I feel like it was a really good way for me to work through my problems, but I don't feel like that's Sultana right now as much. So.
Yeah. No. I feel like Rawl is definitely, like, I think we connect on the same level of once I trust somebody, I'll just tell them whatever.
Yeah. I get that from you.
Neil, what's your shoe size?
11?
Neil, are you feeling okay?
Neil, how are you feeling?
How are you feeling? Neil?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Let's not start this, okay? We have too many questions to start with a 1 to 10.
There's so many questions.
There are so many questions.
Arc's definitely my kind of outgoing, like, little bit, like, carefree side.
Yeah.
So.
My question. Who would you like to have come guest a character from your backstory?
I can't answer that because it's already happening.
That's true, yeah. Drew is already your dad.
Yep. Oh, I wasn't talking about that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, yeah, true. But we can talk about that because... Actually, no, we can't because your backstories won't be out again for a little bit and I haven't recorded them, so... Okay. Casey?
What?
Who would you like to voice someone from your backstory?
Like, ideally, like, anyone?
Yeah.
Like, anyone in the entire world.
Yeah.
Natalie Dormer and Odette.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine.
I'm
Neil?
so
I'm
bad
in
at
love
this
with
game.
Natalie Dormer. Leave me alone.
It could be someone you know. Like, it could be Kyle.
Because Because I'm thinking of a very specific character.
Is this spoilers?
This one right here.
Morgan Freeman.
Josh would be probably pretty good.
I actually have an idea for Josh and your backstory already.
Okay. If it's the same thing that I think it is.
Rawls
There's
mother.
only a couple things that it could be.
Yeah, you know,
then,
I think we're both thinking exactly the same person.
Yeah.
And I would want Josh to do that. I already
think
have
that
it
would
written
be
in my
fun.
notes.
Uh,
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm sorry, guys, we can't tell you who it is, but yeah.
Yeah.
honestly, it's kind of too bad that we already did Davros or whatever.
Dravos, yeah.
His voice, because I kind of was hoping that Thirsty would get to play him.
Thirsty.
Thirsty's already taken.
Thirsty's
I know,
already taken,
I know.
yeah. The Thirsty's going to be an uncontrollable NPC. So he has information. He's my writing partner. He knows the vague gist of what's going on. So I can't have him as a player, but I can have him as an uncontrollable NPC. So what he does will be fucking unreal. Okay, Jess, from a single episode, how many hugs is too many hugs?
The
Never
limit does
enough.
not exist. Next.
The limit does not exist.
Next question.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Add a question. Just add one.
Uh-huh.
Am I still writing that nat 20 on my hugs? Is that like going to be a thing where like that's my role? I'm gonna
For every
write that
hug.
forever. That nat 20 hug.
I don't know. I think so. I think so. I think so.
Rawl has a permanent boon that he just
Yeah, here's
automatically...
advantage. I'll tell you what, we'll give
Put
you
him down as a
advantage.
feat.
An additional feat. You have advantage in all hug rolls.
Only when he's wearing the sweatshirt, though, because otherwise it's creepy that he's got, like, broken ribs and everything.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Look, if you then you'd be naked and it would be even creepier.
Yeah, it's even weirder.
What's the next question?
Question from Discord Thirsty again. What version of Mystic class does Archie use?
The Awakened Mystic version 3, which is from the Unearthed Arcana. So it is Wizards of the Coast content, just it's unofficial until they release it in a book.
Yeah.
Plus homebrew.
Plus a few homebrew things that me and Volonda kind of just...
Yeah, I have issues with... Yeah.
The version 3 of the Awakened Mystic has some potential to break games if not moderated by a good DM. That being said, I don't think Balance has done anything yet that has truly broken anything.
You are correct. And that leads on to the next question.
Looking at the questions that I asked. Can you name any instances where a player brought up or did something that you had not prepared for and made you have to improvise?
All the freaking time. Seriously, when we go shopping is the worst thing because I
Shopping,
never
yes, sir.
prep shopping. I fucking hate it. Basically, anytime we shop, the one of the bigger ones that I remember is actually Archie using the reverse on Marnak.
Yep.
That threw me. It didn't exactly throw me for a loop. I'm like, that's interesting. I like it, and that was the most straight out improving. I'm like,
Because Mardak was like, go do it on Rawl. And I was like,
I'm gonna do it on you.
I'm going to use it on you, sir.
Yeah, it was a good flip. I'm like, I like it. I wasn't prepared for it, but I know enough about Marnak that I felt comfortable enough just rolling with it.
And I still get shit for it to this day from
Yeah,
people
you
on
do,
Twitter.
because he gave you the option of not doing it,
I know.
and that leads on to a bigger question. In a
It was in character, so nobody on Twitter can say that.
exactly.
I think you should just segue into that question.
Huh?
I think you should just segue into that question, even if it's not for a while, because it's related.
We're almost there.
Almost.
We're almost there. But yeah, that was probably the biggest like suddenly flipping thing. And because the episode has happened, you're going to pick up the ruby after being told like don't touch anything else. I had prepared a couple of weird little items in there which will hurt you, and the item that you got, which is a duplicate of your aunt's one.
Yep.
And you were like, I'm gonna go look around at stuff. Like, I wonder what are you looking for? Anything that interests me. Is like, what is you interesting? Anything cool? I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Specifically said gems because they're not man-made and that they are from,
Yeah.
The earth.
mines. So
Yeah,
that's
it was.
why I said that.
I was like, okay, we're going to do that, and the whole fireball thing was nothing but improv. I'm like, okay, now I have an idea. Now I know that it's a thing that looks a bit like a sunset. Therefore, it's going to be 5 because it relates to Aimer. And the whole thing was based around the idea that you would look for something that was as close to being Aimer as possible. So a gem that had a sunset in it would be
That's so
the
sad.
closest thing to me, and then the fireball in there would be something relating to her, which I thought would resonate. And then you blew you both up. I'm like, fuck this. You can't keep it anymore. You can't have nice things.
And if Caden and Zoltana had not woken up...
You would have kept going, and you two would have found some very interesting stuff, but you haven't got there yet. So
Nope. Yep.
And the other thing from Casey is using Calimorn to obliterate 10 of the eggs in one go. I'm like, wow. Wow, what do I do with this shit?
Casey read the file. Zoltana didn't.
Yes. Yes, it was just funny as hell.
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, there are lots of things in here that you guys have thrown at me, but those are the things I can instantly remember. So
It's like something out of an Aliens movie.
it was awesome. I love that bit. Question from
cocktail.
Travis, again, from Facebook. Do any of you have out-of-character knowledge, or is your knowledge of the world limited to what your characters know?
It's really just in character.
Yeah, it's all in character knowledge.
Yeah, I literally gave you guys the option, didn't I? Of whether you want to know a lot or know only what your characters know.
It's more fun this way.
And you guys opted for the option that meant I had to create 3 separate documents.
Yep.
And I had to meter down some stuff. I had to preface it with some of this is propaganda. I'm sorry. Some of it is a lie.
Some of it's outdated by about 50 years.
Yes, some of it's updated by 50 years. So yeah, that was an interesting one to do. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I definitely ignored a lot of my sheet for Raw. I just decided that Raw doesn't know a lot of this.
I gave you access to what you could know, I think is the better phrasing.
Yeah.
Raw, you know you could use telepathy,
Neil knows
right?
some things,
Nope.
and then I just decide that Raw doesn't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting way. All right, so this one comes from a lot of people, actually. Jess from Discord, Captain Ryan from Discord and Twitter, Cadageddon from Twitter, and Starwell. These are all like similar questions that got bundled into one. Volonda, I know you only play one character, so this question is based more towards DMing and stuff. With this world, what was the inspiration that caused you to make this setting? The inspiration for this setting was a game that I ran many, many years ago called The Lamp. Everyone here knows what it is.
Yep.
Everyone here has played it. In which the opening phrases are, because I write things in threes, and the opening phrasing is like, blood boils across, clouds boil across the sky like blood, and and various bits and pieces. So I picked the setting from that, and this particular story came from looking at the D&D character sheet, and that's what I'm going to give you. Everything else is a guapfo. I don't want to give away specifics because you guys haven't played through all of the entire world. But yeah, this is kind of where it came from. And I don't want to say any more because everything else is spoilers.
Okay.
I feel like this entire world is very much based on like the flaws, bonds, traits section of the character sheet.
You think it does? Cool.
That's what I see it as.
That's fine. If that's when you pick up, then that's what you see.
That's what you believe.
Yeah. In addition, when developing NPCs, how do you come up with their voices? Very key NPCs have a voice before we start recording. Caden had a voice, Lindren had a voice, Bogrim had a voice, and so did Amar. Talvin had a voice, and so did Adet and all the other people in your backstory of fucking millions of them. Kythea had a voice. She had both her voices before we started. There are a couple of characters you haven't come across yet who have voices, and I'm holding on to those, and they may be terrible. Callan Morn had a voice. Almost everyone else are characters I make up on the fly. Like I knew that that Sensor would be coming in. I didn't know what kind of voice he'd be having. I knew that you'd be meeting Colin, Emily, and Jim at the bar. Only Jim I knew had a voice. The other two I didn't know until I started voicing them.
Emily's funny.
Emily's funny. I love Emily. She's such a
Remember,
little
they'll fight
sweetheart. Yeah. So the voices just come from like specific ones have specific voices because I know that they're important. I work on those. Everyone else is just improv, so they come from a base amount of accents and voices. Your voice is so consistent in game that I was wondering how you managed to hit that level.
Oh that's Neil.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's Neil editing
So
out the bad part.
there are two voices that I struggle with immensely. One is Amar and one is Bogrim, because in my head, because they're friends, I keep switching them around and I can't keep them straight, so sometimes I'll have to re-record voices. And like Amar's voice in the episode we just released or is about to release, 18 or 17,
Can't remember.
I can't remember. I had re-recorded Amar's voice because I was here in the States. I didn't have my normal setup and it sounded terrible. And yeah, I mean,
I can
those
tell.
are the two that I struggle. What I can tell, I can clearly hear the Bogrim in her voice.
Really?
Yeah, because to me, both of those characters are good friends. The same, like in my head, I find it very difficult to split Rao, Amar, and Bogrim out because in my head they're very good friends.
Yeah. They're very different.
It's the same like problem I have with Tears Irregulars. They're little friends, so I can barely separate them out. But because I was thinking about those two, it was very difficult for me to split their voices out. And to me, I can just hear. Now I'm saying it, people probably couldn't hear it, but now you go back and listen to it, you'll probably hear the Bogrim in it. So, but yeah.
I edited it and I still couldn't.
But other than that, it's me just writing a little note on the side of each person that I play saying this is roughly their voice, and then I'll get back to them eventually. Please say that's the last of it. My final part of the question is that with this campaign, should we expect things to get worse before they get better, or should we just wait to find out? Iguatfo. I am not even giving you a hint on whether it's a good ending, a bittersweet ending, or a terrible ending. I will Iguatfo, and it's pretty much all going to be down to you guys.
It's like one of those those games where you have like the dialogue options and it based on what.
Yeah.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
No. My finger was still on the page.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned to this
like
probably to Arch before. There are things that you guys will probably need when you get to the end fight. You've burnt some of those bridges already, so some of the options you would have available are gone. Yep, I think there's definitely 2 of those that you've burnt, but I can't tell you what. In case you unburn the bridge.
I'm okay with that.
In case you build a new bridge, so yeah.
Yeah, make new
Oh
friends.
my god. All right, Neil.
Field.
Yeah, this kind of is the one that tied into the one couple of questions ago. Which NPC do you think holds the most secrets?
Bogrim.
Ama. Both.
Well, she's dead, so that's a little bit harder to...
Bogrim, Ama, everyone in Rawl's backstory.
Yep.
Caden.
Nope.
Nah.
Really?
Come on, Caden's suspicious. He dropped his accent.
Oh my god.
Yep.
He dropped his voice.
Working conspiracy theory.
Working conspiracy theory.
I've had some interesting conspiracy theories about Caden. I think I told you 2 about them, but I'm not going to repeat them. Mm-hmm.
Actually, everybody in my backstory.
Basically everyone is what we're going with.
My entire family is a big question mark.
I think everybody is the answer. All the NPCs hold secrets.
Some just
Spoiler
a lot more
alert.
than others.
Some of them more than others.
the only way that it's fun.
Okay. From Sam, from Starwell, and from Catageddon, what is the process for the players when creating your characters?
So let's keep it to our podcast characters.
Yes, specifically these ones, please.
I really wanted to play a mystic. And I wanted to be nobility.
Sorry.
And then it just kind of added up.
Yeah, we did a lot of work, everyone. We had a little,
Powwow.
we each had a little powwow where I asked them a bunch of questions. We fleshed the characters out a lot more, but...
My character, I just get an inspiration, and which in this case was the bride from Kill Bill, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, now I see it. Yeah. Cool.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I just come up with a character around whatever inspiration I have for the character.
Nice. And you?
Neil just thinks of dumb shit all the time to do with dumb things, and so I think.
Neil just listens to Paramore and Linkin Park and then waits until an idea comes to him.
Yep.
No, I think that Raw started with just me thinking, oh, what if the Dragonborn breath weapon is fucked up? And because I wanted to tie that to a class somehow, and it was just kind of creatively in my mind thinking, oh, how do I apply a sickness to a character and make it a part of who they grow to be and what class they are. It's kind of just turned out for Raw, I guess.
Yeah.
It started with that thought, though, of I should make a sick character.
We spent a lot of time working on your sickness.
Yeah.
A real long time working on it so it doesn't break the game but still gives you a positive because you're like, I just want him to pass out every time it happens. I'm like, no, dude, this isn't going to work.
No, so that you can still be an adventurer.
Yeah. I mean, there are still things about your sickness that even you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I have a little document.
I'm working on fixing it, though.
Yeah, sure.
It's on Balance's list of things to do.
All right, question from Thirsty. Is it just me, or is the thought of magical giant spiders, both internal bones and an armoured exoskeleton, just fucking horrible?
Yeah.
I hate you so much, Thirsty. You know why you're asking that question. You're just a dick. I'm not answering.
And then there's the stone knot spiders.
And the spine not spider.
I think we can all agree spiders are the worst.
Yeah, spiders are worse. They're unholy hells, but they're not because they're just spiders. Next question is from you, dude.
Oh. How very good and fast are we at accomplishing all of the tasks that you set out for us?
Well, if we left it all to Zoltana, there would not be a list.
Okay.
The answer is we're not. We're very slow.
We're getting there.
You guys have skipped past some not sections, but I did I wrote a thing and you guys went past it really quickly, and I wrote something else and then you spent 20 minutes role playing amongst yourselves. I'm like, cool, I've got prep left next time. So I don't know. I don't exactly have tasks set out for you. I just have here's a rough idea of what things are going to happen. And these will happen at you and to you, and then you guys will do what the fuck you want from there. But other than that, I mean, you guys got through the mine in about amount of time I thought you would. I knew it would take I had a feeling you'd be done by the session that we were finished with.
I thought it would take a lot longer because I'm used to dungeon crawls being really long. But we kind of beeline through that because of Caden.
Yeah, I mean, I specifically wrote that in that way so it wouldn't take you fucking millions of sessions to get through it, because I don't want to hear fight, puzzle, fight, puzzle, because I would run out of fights and puzzles really easily. I don't find making puzzles easy. I find them really difficult because I'm shit at puzzles.
Relatable.
So yeah, I just wanted to keep it very, very, very streamlined, and like, you know, this major thing would happen, which would be that Caden got abducted at some point, and if you guys hadn't done that point, spoiler alert, it would happen later on. So we had that specific thing. I had specific things with the waterfall and with the kind of alien-ish type creatures. So I knew specific things that happen, and if you got through it, you get through it. But I figured it would probably take you about a single of our recording sessions to get through. I just didn't want it to drag on forever because we would just be doing meaningless stuff, and I wanted everything to have a meaning to it. So there you go. That's it. Question from Ryan, which is at Captain_RYMM. How much does Caden truly know? Iguafo. Can't answer that. Sorry.
You know nothing, Caden.
He knows nothing. Neil.
I asked too many questions.
Actually, I think you've already asked that one. We already covered that, I think. With I know Arch answered that question already.
How did your character behave differently in practice than you thought that they would pregame?
Yeah, I answered that one.
Yeah.
Rest of you didn't.
Is Sultana about the same as you thought Sultana would be?
Yeah, basically.
Nice. Neil?
I thought Raw would be slower to get along with. I thought that everyone was going to be mean.
You did.
Yeah.
I remember that discussion.
Yeah.
You were like, God, Raw's not going to like anybody in this party. And I'm like,
Raw's
bitch, you are.
Raw's going to kill us all.
And everyone was nice to Raw. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, you've done it. I mean, now he's nice, I guess. But he definitely could be mean.
For me, Caden came out slightly different than how I'd intended him.
Really?
Yeah, because I was stuck to the party.
No, I had already... Because all of you, like, especially, like, Ral and Balance had links to Caden already before we'd even started playing, I knew that he would be a big figure in this. I knew that he would be the person that would help to ground you all.
Mm-hmm.
But he came out slightly different than I intended, but I love the way he's turned out. I genuinely, I adore playing him as much as I hate having to drag him around everywhere at the moment.
We
I can
all
just
love
imagine.
him.
Everyone loves Caden.
I just
everyone loves
imagine that
Caelus.
briefing meeting between Lynch and Caden where it's like, all right, you see this shithead here that's sitting on the floor the whole fucking time? All right, that's a prince. Yeah, I know. It's weird. Don't worry about it.
I would love to like have a fly on the wall when Caden and Lindren talk. I just don't want to talk to myself because that'll be fucking weird.
It's really obnoxious doing
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I don't want to do
Really?
that. So,
It's almost like we
okay.
did that to
question
Yeah.
from Thirsty: why doesn't Arch get somebody else to roll for him?
Because Volonda won't let me.
Nope. Correct.
question.
Next question. Again from Thirsty. This is actually a big question, and this is a question you and I were talking about before. The group has a lot of dead women in their backstories. Does that ever concern you? When we did this, first off, I literally said you are in a prison. I don't care how you get there or why you're there. Everybody, I don't know if you guys spoke about it before, everyone independently came back with, I'm in jail for murder, whether they were guilty, accident, or innocent, and they all had dead women in them. And I was like, holy shit, I cannot believe I have 3 trope stories.
Mine, in my defense, was because I liked the idea of Ninverna being Lafian's, like, air quotes, love interest, but they weren't actually a thing. Mm-hmm. It was just like a noble, like the other noble families are like, oh, they're going to be together. They're going to be like the crown king and prince or queen sort of thing. And it's like, no, we're just really good friends.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of worked out well that would be a really good reason for why, oops, I'm in prison now.
But that plays right into the trope, though. That's the whole trope, women in refrigerators, where the death of a woman in your backstory is what leads your character development and your story.
Yeah.
And it does concern me a lot. I thought a lot about it, especially because for me, I'm playing into 2 tropes with my backstory. Well, at this point, you all know that Odette's not dead, but
At the time.
Reverse -1 trope.
Yeah, this is actually...
But it was the bury your gaze, which concerned me a lot, and I thought a lot about it. And I talked to Volonda a lot about it before we started the campaign.
Like, for me, because obviously, like, you blatantly, obviously, me and Casey are not straight in any way, shape, or form. And for me, it was like, I read the story, and it was I think you might have been the last one to come through.
Yeah.
Because... Neil and I spent fucking weeks developing his story through Skype, random messages. But me and Casey, I read it through and I'm like, oh gosh, so I have 3 dead women all pushing each of these character storylines. And I know that obviously like Odette and Zoltana are not straight women, they're married and they're gay. And I was like, oh my God, that's a second trope. Do I really want to do this? And I was thinking, okay, if I ignore the fact that Odette is a woman, do I want this thing to be a thing? I'm like, actually, no, I want her to come back.
Yeah.
So I completely struck off gender. I completely struck off like everything else. I'm like, okay, as a story, is this interesting if she's dead or alive? I'm like, always more interesting if things are alive.
And Volonda said to me, you actually said to me, do you mind if I keep Odette alive? And I was like, yeah, Zoltana just thinks she's dead. And I just think, on it, and we've talked about this.
We did.
Can I say?
Of course you can, sure.
I think that Odette and Zoltana are like true love, and they're and to be fair, now that we know that, I can tell you what my plan for it was in the first place. As paladins get like a resurrection spell sort of a thing, my plan was for Zoltana to resurrect Odette the entire time.
Yeah. Let's say for me, I mean, when we spoke about it, I'm like, I would like the option of having her be alive if I can work it in. And I was honestly like, I honestly don't know, because when we were first talking, I was like, I honestly didn't know if I could think of a way to bring Odette back, if having Odette alive would be more interesting dead or alive, particularly at that point. But I raised it as if it comes up, will you be fucking angry because I've destroyed your backstory? That was the only problem for me. It wasn't any of the trope stuff. It was literally a case of, if this is an option, will you hate the fact I've changed your backstory massively? And you were like, I don't give a fuck.
No, because I was actually happy because I didn't want Odette to be dead, but I couldn't.
Think of another way.
It sucks because the thing about D&D is like, we all had to be in jail, and
yeah, carry on. Mm-hmm.
And it's not a happy world, and it's hard to have a happy backstory and have the person you love the most be alive.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. But what
it tortured me a shit ton to make it.
Yeah, what made it interesting to me was that you all decided to be in jail for murder. None of you considered being guards. That was the funniest thing to me.
I thought about having Aima not be dead.
Yeah?
I thought about having her... Well, I knew that Rawl needed to be paired with somebody.
Yes. Yeah.
To get from point A to B. Because he couldn't do it alone. Because sickness was the first thing, right?
Yes, that was the drive for him.
That was his square one. This is Rawl. I considered her like leaving him because his sickness is just a lot, and that kind of a move and change of lifestyle is just so much. And there's other things that like are not out yet. Like I considered having her just leave, but then, and I had no clue how Aima and Raw's relationship was going to be, because it's very sweet and it's very cute and they're very close, but it didn't have to be that way.
No, it absolutely didn't.
So I considered having her leave, but then I just thought Rawl would just be too sour.
Yeah.
He would just be too like dead to the world.
I like how we've built the relationship up for them, like really made it genuinely quite sweet. But of course, the idea of her leaving him is something that could still very much be on the table.
Yeah,
because you don't know why she's dead. You don't know why she got involved in what she did.
And then Raw's like reason for being in prison probably would have been something a lot worse.
Yeah.
It would have been
You'd have been hung already.
Darker, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's so much that I can't say about that because you guys don't know, and it's very pivotal, especially if you haven't. So, all right, next one's your question, dude.
Oh, this is for you. How did everyone play their characters in a way that surprised you? How did we come off to you as characters that you weren't expecting? Did the way that anyone portrayed their characters surprise you in any way?
I think because we did, I sat down and had a one-on-one with everyone, and we developed your backstories, and then we did that backstories game for everyone. That really told me how you were going to play your characters, so I was not surprised.
I think we did so much prep that it was...
Yeah. I've worked really hard on this, and you guys pretty much, not exactly the way I thought you played them, but there was nothing like, I didn't realise you were going to be an asshole. That was blatantly obvious. So yeah, there was nothing like that really. I don't know. I think not. Thirsty, what was the Guardian's name in real life? They don't remember, and Iguatfo. That's a really short question. That's your question again.
Me again, wow.
Yeah, you again.
Goodness. Can you name any instances where you had prepared one thing and decided on the spot to go with a different idea entirely?
In my head, Caden had 3 kids.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I mean, initially... And I didn't want to voice them all. So, I mean, I knew, like, I hadn't written anything. I'd written a bunch of stuff for Caden, but I hadn't written down his home life. And I hadn't written down whether he had kids. I didn't write down whether he had a wife, but I had vague ideas in the back of my head. And on the spot, I went, doesn't have a wife. And then, like, when we were talking about family, and I was like, I'm doing this for my kid or whatever, I went kid specifically. I'm like, okay, because in my head he had triplets. And I thought it'd be the cutest thing to have 3 mini Cajuns running around. In the end, I'm like, no, fuck this. I'm not doing 3 voices, just one. And she's sickeningly the cutest thing that I've ever voiced in my life. So yeah, I can't.
Puts
No.
her in the spotlight a little more since there's only one.
Yeah, but all the other ones I'm not going to mention because there's a chance that the offshoot of this could be a thing again. So
Okay.
Iguafo for the sake of plot. Now we're on to more character stuff. Thirsty. What the fuck is Linda's problem?
He's a dick.
Thank you.
Dick.
That was one of my favourite instances.
You're a dick.
Next question from Jess. If your characters had a motto or a catchphrase, what would it be?
Oh, we've already decided on that.
Yeah, we
long
did
time
this.
ago.
It's a Smite thing, right? I can never remember what the fuck I said.
Why
Down the holy thunder!
And then in asterisk,
Lose his accent.
Yeah, every time.
Alice's has got to be...
It's my inquisitive nature.
Yep, and
Roll looks nervous.
Rolex knows. I think the word has got to be a Iguafo.
Sorry, not sorry,
That's,
Neil.
that's not Raw's catchphrase.
No, that's his motto.
That's his motto.
Raul looks nervous is the motto of Raul.
Yeah. Roll.
Otherwise, I think it would be asterisk, sounds nervous, quotes, balance.
Balance. That was honestly one of the cutest things apart from hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I think the world would be a Iguafo. There's no other choice.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
Voltanda's current motto is never forgive, never forget.
Yeah. That's something we spoke about before, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's straight out of a movie or book.
Of
Probably.
course. Back to Thirsty. Were there presents that never got opened at Laffian's 100th birthday party? If so, what was in them?
Iguafo?
I can't.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go home and find that there's a fucking Cerberus. That was supposed to be my pet dog.
I genuinely have some things. I genuinely can't tell you what they are
I'm sure.
until you go home. So, sorry. So many of your questions, Thirsty, you know we're going to be a Iguafo. I can't just give these things away. You're such a dick.
Ew.
I would love to know as well, but
And apart from that, Thirsty knows the answer to some things. It's a fucking dick. All right, from Discord, from Starwell, and from Sam, what's your character's spirit animal or Patronus?
Wolf.
Gelatinous cube.
Yes.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Balance.
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 Hi.
Hi.
No, I actually Onyx and I were in the car up here. Like I pulled that question up on our things. I was just browsing through it, and I was like, I think Raw would be a dog.
Yeah.
Really loyal.
I think like a
He's
Labrador.
sweet and loyal.
Yeah.
Pees on the carpet and then
He
Amy
pees
just
on
smacks
the
him on the
carpet.
nose.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just an owl for balance. It's very
Yeah.
Matchy.
I think Owl is you too.
me,
Yeah.
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good. It's good. I don't think the world has a spirit animal. It's too large and encompassing, I think. I can't answer for the world.
The world is a Geodude casting self-destruct.
All right, this question's aimed at Neil from Jess. Jess has some amazing, like, in-depth questions.
yeah,
So
individual.
good.
Very well thought out.
All right. Neil, Ra lost Ama and he was on the quest for revenge to find the person who did this horrible act. Despite this, Ra still seems to blame himself in certain ways for not protecting her. So my question is a few parts. If Ra were to find that he had played some part in Ama's murder, either by attracting unwanted attention to her or some other method, how would he respond to it?
Okay, I'm gonna take this question in chunks
Okay.
because, first of all, like a lot of the things in here, I'm not gonna be able to alliterate on too much because,
Spoiler.
well,
Just throw the
some things are
guapo.
just you picking up on context, which I'm very, very happy with, but that have not really been discussed in great length in character. So Raw lost Ama, and he's on a quest for revenge to find the person who did this horrible act. Raw, if you remember in his backstory, did the papers to change false light. He knew he was going to die in prison. He didn't think he was going to be able to get revenge. Him getting out of prison is kind of like,
Well, shit.
yeah, he didn't think, he wasn't like Raw's like motivations up until the point where he was told by the Spectre that Ama wanted him to find the person. he didn't think that he was able to get revenge. He didn't think it was a possibility because he's just so incompetent as a person and not able to accomplish things. And he wasn't let out of prison to like drag Caden around finding all of these things.
Yeah.
So he really didn't think that, it really didn't even cross his mind.
I think Balance kind of instigated it.
Yeah. But despite this, Rawl seems to blame himself in certain ways for not protecting her. I'm glad you've picked up on that. It's something that we haven't really gone too deep into, but yes.
Definitely that.
Rawl is guilt.
Yeah.
Some of my questions were, if Rawl were to find out that he had played some part in Amos' murder, either by attracting unwanted attention, how would he respond to it? You're already seeing that.
Yeah, you're seeing this already.
You're already seeing that because he believes that he's pretty much solely responsible.
Yeah, pretty much. In addition, if he got revenge or justice, what would he do afterwards?
If he got revenge or justice, what would he do afterwards?
Be my gardener. We discussed that.
I don't know.
Like the suggestion is, and it's worded very wonderfully here, would he go and join AMA? Or having found new friends, would he stay and help them on their paths?
I mean, I don't think that, and this is another one of those things that we can't really go into deep on because we haven't discussed it in character. Raw doesn't want to die, though.
No. I mean, the if questions or if this and presenting, they're very different when you actually come to that situation. So in theory, like, yeah, you could say that, you know, maybe he would go join Emma. But afterwards, there may be something that happens that would completely change that. So everything on this, like, is pretty much... and
also, we've touched on Rawl and all of the Dragonborn not being religious or carrying any religion. So Rawl, up until this point, and after meeting the Spectre, he had a lot of questions as, like, is this real? Or was it just an illusion from the place where we saw a bunch of crazy things anyways, right? So
Sorry.
Rawl didn't think that there was an afterlife or a place to join Ama. He still doesn't know where he is and asked that question. But
doesn't know where she is.
Yeah, he knows that she's been taken somewhere. But I mean, all of these things were just not even seeds in Raw's head.
Yeah.
You know, they just weren't a thing. He was just existing until he died. So it was just kind of struggling to survive.
I feel like he's dealing with a lot, but you guys haven't had any rest time to do anything with. So, yeah. So, sad times.
Iguafo.
Hang on, we can ask literally one more question because it just points at you.
Okay.
Are Amy and Raoul in an open relationship?
No.
No.
It wasn't an open relationship.
No.
Rawl stated that he didn't think that Ama cheating was the case. He didn't think that was.
Does Rawl have kittens?
No, it's Raoul kittens, no. I think even if the option were available to Ama, she wouldn't take it. Like, even if they had, like, discussed it, even jokingly, she couldn't deal with that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I know how Rawl would have responded if she was cheating. I don't know if you want me to tell you that or not.
No, let's find out. Because it may be a thing that is a question later on, in the game, as to whether she was or wasn't. So I kind of want to keep that open.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think she would... I don't think they would have gone together and gone, we're in an open relationship. I don't think that's the conversation they would have had.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it's still a question mark as whether she was or wasn't with someone else, or whether that's what got the attention for her being dead, or whether it's something that Raoul did, or whether it's something completely innocuous. Maybe it was random.
Yeah, but that just right over Rawl's head. He doesn't really even consider that.
So.
A lot of things go over Rawl's head.
Shut up.
Another question from Jess. If you guys could have one magic item from the Dungeon Master's Guide, which item would you take and why? I can't answer this because I maybe opened it once, so I don't know.
Yeah, I looked through it the other day, actually, when we were in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I have drift
no
globe.
idea.
Which is what?
It's like the little floating magical light, because I'm the only person in the party that can't see. So,
And then, like, once a day, you can use it to cast, like, daylight.
Oh,
Which is pretty useful.
That's a good
What about
answer, yeah.
vampires?
it's just a little glowing light that follows you around, I think. I think that's what it does. If it's not, I'm going to get yelled at.
No, it is.
So, I mean...
Yeah, you're going to get yelled at. It doesn't matter. If people don't like it, we'll make it a thing. It's homebrew, motherfuckers.
I need a light. A magic light that's not a bunch of torches.
That's the funniest thing in my head. Actually, that was one of the things. I wasn't exactly disappointed that made me laugh, was that you guys went into a sewer and expected it to be light down there. I was like, you idiots.
But also, like, Rawl lived here. What did he, like...
I mean, I would assume there's sewer grates
he
that
probably
kind of...
had torches or whatever when he wasn't in jail. He just probably didn't bring them to jail with
I
him.
had candles. for around the. I don't have torches in my house. What do I have torches in my house for?
Listen, I'm not going to judge Raw's life.
Also, like Amy could just set a fire in the fireplace.
Yeah,
She wouldn't
Ava
need-
had fire.
I have fire, apart from when I don't. And then you have to scare me and I make fire.
We
Anyway,
were saying before in the car that Casey, for Zoltana, excluding the fact that Callanmorn's in the picture, the Holy Avenger would have really been
Yeah.
of
Oh,
Zoltana's.
I should still get it anyway because I need another sword.
No, you don't. Callanmorn will be very sad at you. Be very
he was
angry.
really upset
I'm
when I used
surprised
my-
Callanmorn doesn't have that curse thing on it where if you try to use another weapon, you're just instantly, like, screwed.
Thank God it doesn't.
Yet.
What fire?
He doesn't. We already know he doesn't though because I used another weapon while I had him.
He just got really mad.
You also remember he's sentient, right?
Yeah.
He can control when he does shit. Mm-hmm. So
He's got emotions. Speed round.
Speed round. Okay, this is the really big one, and it won't be a speed round. We actually have to talk about this. This comes from Jess. Again, it's one of the big ass questions that's really in depth, and it's aimed at Arch.
Hi.
Hi. With Balance, we have seen quite a few situations where Balance has violated someone's trust by forcefully delving into their minds. Monarch has already told Balance he needs time, as Zoltana has, inverted commas, kind of moved past it, but both characters have reacted poorly to Balance's actions. In response to them, Balance has said that he's going to try and change, yet he has violated that statement. So my question is, do you think that Balance will continue to grow from this and actually start to change, or is the pull of knowledge too much for him to resist?
I think he's going to change. Mostly because I'm going to will him to change, because in character, I think that he genuinely does want to.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to note for the fans that when while he did invade Zoltana's mind, and it was a bad thing to do in character, like we had a pretty important talk about it out of character beforehand, and I asked him to do it.
We had a concern that Zoltana was being a bit too rough, and it was becoming increasingly hard for Rawl and Balance to really accept Zoltana in the group. That kind of humanized her in a way where we were like, okay,
Yeah.
we can kind of work with this more.
They were having issues with my character, and I said, well, she's not going to open up because she doesn't want to talk about what happened to her and what she saw, what happened to Odette. So I said, you've got that mind thing that you did to Marnak, do it to Zoltana. And he was like, well, she'll punch me in the face. And I'm like, she might literally collapse in a ball of tears. We'll see, but that might be the only way for you to do it. And I felt that it was, and I'm sorry to see people comparing it to,
Sexual
really
assault.
bad. Yeah. Yep.
because as someone like who survived that, I mean, I don't want anything I'm doing to trigger anybody else's, issues. So if I'm really I'm sorry if it triggered anyone's.
Yeah, we apologize.
Whatever. I mean that genuinely. It didn't occur to me.
Yeah, I hadn't really considered
Yeah,
it.
I think because it's the psychic thing, it's a very different. Because psychics aren't really a thing in this world. There's no laws. There's no expected behaviors. There's no we don't do this because this is incorrect to do.
Right.
And I think Marnak is, when he had that conversation with Laffian about it, with Balance about it, he hasn't really got a system set up either.
Which is going to be interesting then, because like we were saying before, this is a chance for Balance to make that rule set. Because he has to be the one to essentially establish it.
And it's an evolution from the very first backstory you had, where Talvin was pointing out, it's like there are laws that exist, but maybe they're not right. And this is an extension of that, of like making those laws that are right. There may not be laws, but it may be a code of conduct and etiquette. And I think Balance is trying to learn that. So I'm seeing him hopefully wanting to evolve, but as Jess pointed out, there is the law of knowledge. There is that I can take it, maybe I should, sort of thing. And that could be a very interesting thing to play out.
And as to if Zoltana has really moved past it, Iguatfo.
Yes, Iguatfo, sorry. And as if Marnak is okay, Iguatfo, until y'all speak to him. But as he said, he needs time.
I think there was a lot of just us as players realizing that Raw and Balance were going to connect so much faster than Zoltana was willing to connect to any of us.
Yeah. I had no qualms that you guys would eventually anyway.
Yeah.
But the fact that you two sat down and spoke about it and said, I think we should do this, I'm like, all right, I'll prep something to be shown.
I was willing for it to take a little longer for everyone to get along with Zoltana. I was aware she's abrasive, but you guys wanted the connection to be more like then. So I was like, this is the only way we're gonna have it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I compared it was balance as he, I'm going to say was because he is actively changing now as of like episode 21. He's gotten,
Yeah.
he was in Inquisitor mode because at that point, I feel like that was the best way for him to cope with all of the stress, all of the situations that he's been thrown into.
Absolutely.
Now he's starting to realize that he needs to be more of a friend and a, dare I say, like a leader.
Yeah.
He might not actually be a prince anymore, but he was raised to be that kind of a leader figure, and he needs to embrace it more. And I think he's starting to realize that that's something he should really explore more.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think balance is probably going to develop a lot. I'm seeing, in my head, I see him developing a lot. Whether he eventually gets his ultimate plan of like being the ultimate king or leader, whatever it is, or whether he only ever becomes like, the person in the background. Maybe that's the evolution for him, is not to be the person at the front. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens with him. So
He's a blank slate waiting to be
I
written.
am excited for all of your characters, to be blatantly honest. So, but yeah, circling back around to the question, we'll see.
Iguato.
Yeah, Iguatfo. Sorry, almost everything here is Iguatfo. Question from Thirsty on the lighter side. What's up with Demi? She's an odd one. Thirsty knows the answer to this fucking question.
Next question.
Next question.
Speed round.
Speed round. This is aimed at Casey again
This is
from
not
Jess.
speed round.
This is not speed round. Kind of. Sultana went to prison for murder, and her actions have shown that she finds murder to be a fair type of justice and judgment. Now, with Kalinmorn, her desire for murder and killing is being fueled by a force the party doesn't really understand. Do you think Sultana is going to descend further down in this dark path? And if she does, do you think she'll have a chance to get out, or perhaps the pull of Kalimorn and her sense of justice will overwhelm her self-control? Is she going dark side?
Yes. My prediction, yes.
I feel like we have to see, because there's two very distinct routes that Sultana can take right now, because she knows that her wife is alive, and now her main concern is rescuing Odette.
Yes.
And she will keep her promise to Kalinmorn, because Zoltana is a person who believes in keeping her promises. She believes in
Hence the
justice.
vow.
She believes in justice. And she is a paladin. A paladins? Oh my god.
Paladins.
A paladin
Paladins.
of vengeance. A vengeance paladin. So there is definitely going to be some vengeance being rained down on the double ones. Or whoever has Odette. I think it's the double ones, but I guess I'll find out.
Iguatfo.
Whoever has been holding Odette, there's going to definitely be some justice rained down. Do I think she's going to go down a super dark side? No, I think that when she gets Odette back, it's going to balance her out a little bit more. And I know, you're yeah.
I'm literally covering my face because everything I could emote right now would be a spoiler. So
I know, Iguatfo. But
yeah,
I just think that when she gets Odette back, and I think she will, I think that it's going to balance her out a little bit more. And I know that there's going to be some problems because of what she's done and whatever Odette's done or been forced to do. I think that they're going to have to, I think it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say.
yeah.
Raul and Balance are going to be in the background just going, you want to go get some coffee or something?
Okay.
This is going to take a
Do you
while.
want to get sushi? Okay. Yeah. There will be questions posed at you actually in the next recording, which will make you seriously weigh up those options.
Yeah,
So-
because I've thought a lot about it, and the other road that she goes down, if Odette gets killed by the Sandman before she can get to her, there's a
thing.
I've thought a lot about it, and all I can say is just wait and see.
Yeah. Iguatfo. Although I wanted to, in my head, try and find a way of making Odette not dead to subvert the tropes, and then eventually, fuck the tropes, is it more interesting to be alive? I'm like, yes. That doesn't mean she's safe. Please don't ever think that anyone here is safe.
No.
None of y'all are.
There is no such thing as plot armor in D&D.
There is, I have no plot armor for anyone. If any of you die, I have backups, I have ideas, I just don't want you to die.
Yeah.
That's like me as like the volley part of me, the not asshole part of me, wants to see you guys succeed. But at the same time, it doesn't mean I'm going to be nice on you when I throw situations.
If we die, we die.
You die, you die. All right, question from Sam. This is a quick one. Hobbies of the characters.
Archery.
Murder.
Punching.
Murder, punching, and archery. Y'all need to practice a lot more archery. There is a question from
That
Thirsty.
was Roll20's fault.
There is
Back up off me.
There is a question for the thirsty, which is who taught Laffian Laffian archery because my soul hurts. I don't know how far down in the questions that is, but I know it's a question.
Right there.
Listen,
oh my God,
Talvin's
it
a
is.
good
It's literally
teacher.
right there.
Talvin's a good teacher. Just Roll20 absolutely despises me.
Thirsty question. What names did Odette have in mind for the kids she wanted?
Iguatfo.
Yeah, I can't say. I have another question for Sam, but I can't read it.
Taylor.
I'm an idiot. What song would you choose as your character's theme song?
I think we've already done this in our
What theme song?
other bonus thing that we've.
Yeah, but that was pre everything.
That was before we started recording anything. Yeah. So,
I already have mine.
what's that?
Balance's life story is absolutely Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Yes, yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
it fits.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stand and Deliver by Adamant. That's the first thing I think.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let
Yeah.
the bodies hit the floor.
I don't know. I have too many things that I was
How
listening
could
to.
this happen to me?
No,
No?
Something
I miss
emo.
you.
no.
Crawling in my skin.
Something emo
Basically
for sure.
anything emo.
Yeah.
I think the world is actually a mashup between Mad World and High and Dry. There's an amazing mashup between the two, and it's freaking perfect for the world. Go search it out. It is incredible. That is the theme for the world.
Why don't you guys, our fans, tell us what you think our character theme songs are? Tweet us
interactivity.
at
Yes.
TLD Pod or at our
Oh my God.
individual Twitters, which are listed on TLD Pod.
This is terrible. Ryan actually had a
Say
question
yes.
about how we came up with the sickness for Ral. I think we've already discussed that, so
Yep.
we can probably jump up.
Yeah, I mean, I had the idea for a different campaign, but it was also that DM's first time DMing, and I didn't want to like put
That one.
such a heavy concept on someone for their first time. So it was something that I was just happy to like pull into this.
All right, okay. Another question from Thirsty, because we covered some of these questions already, so I'm going to jump them. Discord from Thirsty. If Ral and Aimer had produced offspring, what kind of breath weapon would it have had?
Broken breath weapon. Bad sick breath weapon.
I feel like this is a question to ask a certain animal expert that we know.
Oh, yes,
Because
yes.
that's more of a genetics thing.
Yeah. Well, it would in that case it would either be acid or fire then.
Yeah, it would have been one or other. There's like no
Yeah.
blending. I don't think or maybe all Dragonborns kind of have a bit of
Everything.
all of the genes, and it's kind of random regardless. So maybe something
I
like
will
that.
have to Iguatfo that question.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you why it's an Iguatfo.
I mean, I don't think Raw would even know.
Yeah. I don't think either of them would know, but I cannot even answer why it's an Iguatfo. That's why
They
it's
have a
Iguatfo.
secret child that neither of them know about.
I'm moving on. This is like an in-betweeny question. I can't really figure out where to put it. It comes from Jess and it comes from Catageddon. What has been the moment that has stood out for each of you within this campaign? I've already said mine.
Tattoo burning.
Why?
Because it was really emotional, and I really felt like it was her trying her hardest to connect and do something to make someone else comfortable, but in the most Zeltana way possible, which made him uncomfortable anyway. So I just felt like that whole episode, like the mind invasion and the burning the tattoo off, just they felt like a real turning point for her.
Yeah, they really were. That episode is, because I didn't get to do a lot, was one of my favourite. Not because I'm lazy DM, but because I got to watch you guys interact.
I love watching.
And it's incredible.
the players interact, yeah.
Yeah.
Like as far as the in character, as far as what I think in the campaign was the most like fun moment for me, I'd say like the whole first dungeon part and us like bonding through actually doing things together was very cool. As far as like Neil, what has stood out so far like for me, I think the very first session, I just decided on the spot to like throw that. Who is that person? I
Oh,
decided
yeah,
to roll-
the double one that like you insinuated you beat
I
the
was
shit out
talking
of.
to,
Yeah,
wasn't
Peter.
Fisty.
It was Petey.
It was Petey or
Petey.
Pay. There was no discussion prior. I was
No.
just like, in my head, I was like, she's gonna either A, go along with it, or B, stop the podcast to ask me what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think I
And you
probably just
right
went with it.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I can
Yeah.
just make shit up.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, like, you don't do it a lot, but sometimes you just say a thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, that's a thing then, because
Yeah.
I won't stop and correct you unless it's completely game breaking. So if you turn around and say, oh, yeah, down the pub, oh, yeah, of course I know Colin. Colin and I have been mates forever. You know, I'm like, I got off with his wife once, and he was fine with it. I'd roll with it, but I'd be weirded out, I'll be honest. I'll just roll with it, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad.
I think that
Yay.
was fun. I was like, yeah.
She goes with it, cool.
Wiggle your eyebrows at me.
Still think the biggest standout for me was the mirror scene with Balance.
Yeah.
The mirror
Because,
seems great.
like, I know in a way, like, for Zoltana, like, it was just like, yeah, that's par for the course for me. And then with Rawl, it was like, okay,
Shit.
well, shit, that happened. With Balance, I feel like it really hit on a deeper level because it hit every single one of his fears and concerns and dreams and potentials.
Yeah.
And it just, every strand of ifs and coulds and woulds just all got pulled at the same time. And it
Yeah.
just, like, that's why he had the mental breakdown, because it's like,
Yeah.
I cannot process what just happened.
Yeah, apart from that scene, I really liked doing the mirror scenes because watching your reactions was just, it was beautiful. Especially as Arch, yours was just like awesome. I had
out.
really good fun doing it, and I will give you all a drop. For each of those mirror scenes, I had 3 lines of bullet points. That was it.
Shout out to Arch for always having the best reactions when we
Oh my
do.
god, yeah. I kind of really
Every
wish we could
single
video
time.
just your reactions to some of the stuff, especially the one that really, apart from the mirror scene for all of y'all, the one that really stands out is when you picked up those necklaces
Yep.
in the treasure room and you literally just froze. I'm like, is his camera there?
No,
Is
I
it still
just was
moving?
like, what?
Welcome to TLD.
My favorite reaction was when I dropped into the Dwarven accent the first time.
Oh my god, yeah.
Arch just like, he did like a double take, like, what the fuck?
And then
fuck
you
is
went
going
into
on here?
Elvish, and that was the funniest thing.
No, no,
So
you
good.
are never allowed to speak in Elvish again. Do not do
I
that.
already know. I already
It
know
was-
how to speak Elvish.
It was
No, not
freaking-
allowed.
Okay, stop. That was freaking ridiculous for me. Yeah, I really like. But yeah, your reactions are the thing. I really like the mirror scene. Say there were only 3 bullet points, but the more I was speaking about Laffian, his was probably one that I spent the most time thinking about. Like genuinely, like how do I make this a thing which will make you react? Like how can this play on your fears? Because there are things in the mirror scene which may or may not be true. Things
Right.
in the mirror scene that may not actually. I mean, Aima's thing with Rob, that may or may not be a thing she said at once. You just don't know. That's why I like the mirror scene. Like listening back to it's like 13 minutes of me talking, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing?
And the music that Neil did underneath all of
Yeah.
it, like, holy shit.
Like, as I say, I wrote those. Like, I wrote the sections of them. Some of them are directly out of what I wrote, and some of it I made up on the spot. And I'd written them, I said them, I was there at the time, and then you put the music onto them, I listened to them, and oh my god, I was like, holy shit, we did that. Like, because it wasn't just me, it was your guys' reactions afterwards. I'm like, holy shit, I really love this. This is great.
Aw.
This is why I love your music, dude. You make what I do sound good. You make me and my boring ass descriptions and narrative sound good.
Yeah, it's like in your head, like your creativity is like one way, and then when you actually pull all of your ideas together and like put
Yeah.
it into an action, it becomes like a story. Yeah.
This is how I feel about the entire podcast.
Yeah.
Because
Just all in general, it's been great.
I can improv and descript till the cows come home, but if you guys aren't there, it's fucking bullshit. Like, I'm just me talking to myself, and you guys are just really good at feeding back and giving stuff. So yeah, this is a work of all of us. It's not just one person's story; it's all of us. So, and I can't wait for our guests to come in because they're going to bring something different. I think.
Me neither.
I'm excited for them. All right, these are going to be the quick fire round because these are the really, really random, stupid questions, mostly from Thirsty.
Okay.
All right, Thirsty. If Canamorn was a humanoid again, what kind of moustache would he have? Same with Marnak. Because I've heard Rethix do it and I know what Rethix looks like, in my head, Canamorn is now Rethix. He used to be a very short dude. Yeah, because I've seen Rethix and Rethix did a voice, that's now what I see. I used to see a very, basically used to see a human who was built like a brick shit house and had, like, no facial hair, no hair. Now he just has a little tufts of, like, little dark hair over his head and he has a kind of like a goatee and a moustache. So that's how I see Canamorn. And Marnak, Iguatfo, I don't want to tell you what it looks like yet. I'm sorry.
He's a gnome.
He's a gnome, but I don't want to tell you what it looks like yet because you
I
haven't seen that.
imagine.
Yeah.
I imagine a twisty mustache.
Everyone thinks that. It's like, Iguatfo.
Yeah.
All right, Jess, if you If you guys or your characters had one use of the wish spell, how would you use it?
Nope.
Recklessly.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Balance is too intelligent for that.
Fuck the wish spell. Next.
Actually-
Raul would do it, but he would fall for something
What would you
stupid.
do? It'd be
Wish
Aimer,
for
right?
something dumb. Yeah.
It'll be Aimer.
Just
Then
be
what
the
else
first
would it
thing that he
be?
wanted at the
Zombie
time.
Aima.
It would be Aimer,
Yeah.
which is Equofo.
Yeah. It would be something that would backfire horribly, probably, because Raul probably would.
Word it terribly.
Yeah, he has no idea.
But to be fair, sometimes like the purest way in which you say something is the best way to use the wish spell. I want Aimer back in my life.
I feel like actually Balance would use the wish spell against his better judgment. Mm-hmm. And he probably would try to wish for an Inferno to come back.
Yeah.
Aww.
Because he feels like it hasn't really shown in the show yet, but like that's the heaviest guilty burden that he carries on his shoulders, is that he took something away from, he killed his one best friend, taking away the best thing in his other best friend's life.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big burden. I mean, he's had 50 years to kind of deal with that. But at the end of the day, he still hasn't had a chance to talk to Talvin about it, which is probably a big weight on him. I would use the wish spell to keep Aimer and Bogren's voice separate.
I would
Genuine as shit.
never use the wish
That's
spell.
how I would use the wish spell.
Sorry, it's a wish, not a miracle.
Bad experiences with wish in
You
past
motherfucker.
campaigns.
Shot fired.
Like, normally when I do wish spells, I genuinely hate them. When I do wish spells in games, I toy with them, but that's only because I play the lamp. Other times in which the wish spell could be in the world, I will actually take as seriously as I can. So if it does come up, and I'm not saying it will, don't worry about the way I play it in the lamp. It will be as close as damn Mr. Swearing. Okay, right. What is Raul's favourite drink from Thirsty?
Fireball. Just kidding.
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Fireball.
No, Raul can't drink hard liquor. It'll burn him.
So water.
Any drink.
Milk.
Probably if you're talking alcohol specific, probably like something a little heavier.
We already discovered balances.
Yeah, that's true. Fine.
The Molotov cocktail elf wine.
That was so good when you used that. I'm like, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, you're using pieces of the environment. I'm so proud. I was so happy.
I need to talk about more of that shit.
You do, yeah. Question from Sam. If TLD was turned into a movie, what actors would you play for each character?
A big computer, CGI.
Ronda Rousey.
All right, well, so then who would be voicing Raul?
Ow.
Vin Diesel.
No.
No.
Morgan Freeman.
No.
Michael Cera.
Gross.
I'm not saying no to that.
I don't see that.
Because he's so soft-spoken. Like,
That's true.
oh.
Yeah.
I think someone English
Wouldn't
would
be
have to
my
play
first.
balance. With a very strong English accent.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
That's exactly
Absolutely.
what I was going to say.
I'm psychic.
No, that's him.
Mind
Vision-
thrust. Mind thrust.
Oh my
mind
God.
thrust.
No, that's my
Stop.
job.
Ronda Rousey.
Who'd I pick? Oh my God. Who would I pick? Narration for the world is got to be Morgan Freeman, right?
Caden's going to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, yes, I can see that. I think I would want to play Demi. Just me.
Natalie Portman for Odette.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Thirsty. Could Zoltana smite a smite so smited that even a triumvirate can outsmite it?
Yes.
The answer is no. They're gods and she's not a god yet.
It's yes.
She's not level 20. She could not smite a smite so smitey that the other gods could outsmite her. Let's say if you hit level 20, maybe.
Maybe.
Question from Jess. What are your character's biggest fears and phobias?
Well, we already know Raul's phobia.
Dying and small spaces.
Causing the death of people she loves.
Oh, that's harsh.
Having a relapse.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that already almost happened once, and Raul would have been a fucking vegetable.
He would have been a vegetable, yeah.
if he stayed alive. The last one didn't.
I think... no, I'm not going to answer for any character in particular, I don't think.
There would have been grey matter everywhere.
Taylor's would be losing her daddy,
Which she almost did.
which she almost did, you motherfuckers.
I would have adopted her.
We fixed it, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting into that conversation about
No.
potentially adopting Taylor, so let's
No.
not do that conversation. Thirsty. How many hit points did Limdrin have anyway? Not saying.
I will say this part, though. in the prison when we were doing that, I remember you telling me that when he left, the next episode, you're like, by the way, your mind thrusts brought him to 1 HP.
Yeah, it brought him down to 1.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, you just would have knocked him unconscious because he's in maybe
If you want to find out how much hit points Lindgren has, go back, re-listen to that episode, and do math.
Yep.
He's totally leveled. Sorry, what was that?
Hanging people gives you experience.
Of course it does. Thirsty, he killed 2 people, so
2 out of 5's not bad.
2 out of 5 ain't bad. Thirsty, Demi mentioned a brother once. Is he a magical widow too? He
Yes.
knows the answer to this. He is Demi's brother. That's the voice he's coming in as. I'm hopefully we'd have had this episode by then. I'm hoping he'll be in by episode 25. If not, you guys have been way too long in Falsum. So yes, he is a weirdo. I'm not going to say whether he's a magical weirdo because it will spoil it for these guys at the table right now. But he totally is. All right, this is a question from Sam, and I have a couple of additional ones on this. Fuck, marry, kill. Balance, Rollins, Altana.
Oh, God, this one.
Neil, you go.
Yeah.
What if I want to just kill all 3?
No, you can't. You have to pick them.
Yeah, you have to pick.
You have to. I would.
I'll go.
I would marry Zoltana because she's a protective badass. I would kill Balance, and I would fuck Rel.
Okay. I know exactly what I would do too. I would marry Balance because then I could become queen. I would fuck Zoltana
That's logical.
because I'm, not into dudes so much, so Zoltana could be my side hoe while I'm queen. And then I would kill Rawl, but only because
It's a mercy kill.
yeah, he's my favorite character, so it was a very hard choice. But yeah, I would, and then I would kill Balance, and then I would have it so that he left it to me.
No,
in his
you
will.
have to be married. You can't kill him. That's the whole point of it. Arch.
Sadly, I would have to agree with the marrying balance thing.
Oh.
Just because, it's a royalty thing.
Yeah.
I would have to kill Zoltana. Just, oh God, just everything. I don't like her. I'm sorry. I don't like
That's
her.
fair. I don't like Balance. It's fine. We don't like each other's characters, but we're
And then
still friends.
I would
That's
fuck
okay.
Rawl just because I feel like Raw's a gentle lover.
But he's got
For sympathy fuck?
but
Wow.
we were talking about it, and we were saying that we thought Rawl would be an animal in bed.
Yeah.
We had this conversation.
We did, yeah. We had this conversation.
I don't think the first time though.
We were talking about how we didn't talk
I
about
was
how
talking
Balance
about-
would
I
be
was-
in bed, but
No,
I
let's not.
I think bad.
Oh, wow.
Thanks.
Throwing some shade there, girl. Neil.
It's because I would kill Zoltana. That's it, isn't
I
it?
don't know.
Yeah.
I would marry Rawl because I know he's very loyal.
Oh.
Neil trying to say we're all petty as fuck.
No.
Also, because I feel Zoltana would be really good in bed.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
She'd be on top.
Fuck Balance kills Altana.
Okay.
Because logically, Zoltana's a little reckless. And Balance is possibly a little more important to keep alive politically. And Rawl does have that sense of political,
Yeah, but this is you, not Rawl.
I know.
He lives in Raul's head, we know this.
That's fair enough.
You three are way too
All right,
deep
go
in the
to the
characters.
next. Go to the next one.
Follow,
There you
follow,
go.
follow.
I'm talking about the characters in this
Yeah.
world. So I'm
Adet,
making a
Ninverna, and
decision.
Ama.
What?
Adet, Ninverna, Ama.
Okay.
I would marry Ama because she's a sweetheart. And a
Fuck
load of
Ama,
bits.
marry Ama, kill Ama.
Look, you're doing this
me, right?
you, not Rawl.
I mean, you don't know if you did it or not.
Rawl did all
Theory.
those things.
Yeah. I would marry Ama. I would... I don't know. I think I'd fuck Adet. And then I'd kill Ninverna.
Same 3. Exactly the same 3.
Okay.
For me.
Close, just reverse the Ninverna and Odette part.
You'd keep Adet.
No, I'd kill Odette.
Sorry, you keep Adet and kill...
Ninverna.
You kill Odette.
Oh my god,
and
you know
keep
exactly what I'm
Ninverna.
trying
That's
to
what he's
say.
trying
Yeah.
to say.
What about you? Oh no, you answered that. You do all 3 to Ama.
Yeah.
No, you have to
mine.
choose one for
Nope.
each of them.
No, I'm going to take that answer.
Because it's
Who
already
wants
been
to
done.
marry Ama? Ama is a sweetie. I love her. And then, because this one's funny to me, Marnak, Kalimorn, and Lindrin.
Kill Lindgren.
Kill Lindrin.
Fuck Callan Kill,
It's
Marry
basically
Marta.
just everyone's gonna kill Lindgren. That's gonna be the answer.
Yep, that's
Everybody
mine.
else.
Put him in.
Exactly the same as Neil.
yeah. I feel like Kalimorn's got like that wild side, you know. Monarch's a little bit like, you know, you want to spend time with him.
Monarch would make a great partner.
Agreed. Yeah.
I feel like Kalimorn would be like really wild in bed.
Balance is basically already married to Monarch.
You bet you are, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no escaping that.
And then you had a follow-up too.
Barnack is the new OTP.
Casey had a follow-up, which was Caden, Demi, and Kythea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So,
You started this. You brought this up.
marry Kythea, fuck Demi, kill Caden.
I agree.
Wow.
Kill Demi, marry Caden, fuck Kythea.
I would do that same too, because Demi's dangerous as fuck.
She'd be really good in bed.
Oh, she'd be great in bed, but she's dangerous as fuck. I mean, imagine if she hit the wrong moment and did a wild magic surge, you'd be screwed. So she's dangerous as fuck.
Or extremely rad, depending on what the spell is.
Or rad as fuck, yeah. Thirsty, if Balance only thought about stabbing you, would it still be a mind thrust?
I don't get that one.
I don't either.
If Balance was like just thinking about stabbing someone, would it count as a mind thrust?
No, it's a mental effort. It's not. It's not like a bard where it's just like I say the wrong thing and people die.
It's okay, Thirsty. I got your joke.
Undead Ban. I think this must have been after episode 17 or 16 or something. After this last episode, the only true question is Rallance, the OTP. And he answered the question of the answer is yes.
No. The only true OTP is Zaldet.
Zaldet.
No, because that's already a confirmed thing, so it's not...
Yeah, that's why it's the one true pairing, because there's so many.
Yeah.
If we're doing, like, crack ships, I guess, yeah, Rallance. Not as great as...
Don't you roll your eyes at me.
Zaldet.
Sultana rolls her eyes. Casey rolls her eyes. Question from Sam. Character zodiac signs? I don't do zodiac signs. I don't really know anything about them other than my own, so I can't answer.
Sultana is definitely an Aries like me, because she is...
No, she Leo as fuck.
What, really?
Scorpio.
Yeah.
Really? I think because she's like fiery and like...
Scorpio.
Okay.
I think Balance would be a Libra.
I think that Rawl is a Pisces.
Raw's a Cancer. He's like me.
Aww. I don't think any of us are equipped to answer this, really.
No, I don't know.
I'll tell you what. I will send the question to my younger sibling and have them do natal charts for all of our characters because they like doing that.
I believe in astronomy, not astrology.
Wow. Discord, Thirsty. Why are you all so damn good?
Magic. We made a pact with the devil.
Possibly. That's Lexi in the background. If you pick that up, that's Lexi. I think this is good because we're all friends.
Yep.
Like the game literally comes first, and if none of us are enjoying it, we're out.
Yeah, we're all very comfortable.
Yeah.
With one another.
And I think if like editing gets too much, the game running gets too much, being in this game gets too much, or it affects our friendship, we'll take a break.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say our friendships come first, and I think that's why this is good.
Yeah, our friendship comes first.
And everyone here is so creative.
Listen, I need at least one other good player that's good at Overwatch. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
I can't even be offended because I suck.
Here's a question from Arch, but I'm not going to have him read it because he's on the other side of the table.
Nope.
Arch, at Arch_D&D.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
When can we have a Spark Network convention so we can all cosplay as our characters?
Can't we just do that at like Comic-Con or something?
Yeah, my follow-up question to this is who would you cosplay excluding your own PC?
I still want to cosplay Raw.
I want to cosplay Emma.
Aww.
That's a good one.
I would do Taylor's.
Aww.
Because she has the pigtails. And I think she looks really cute. I'd put her in a little cape and everything. It'll be so
Oh my
cool.
God.
Yeah, I know.
The minute I know we've
sword.
made it as a podcast is when someone starts cosplaying characters from a podcast like they do from Critical Role.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think outside of me or like cosplaying as Balance, I'd probably want to cosplay as Talvin.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I have this cool like Ranger-esque picture.
Yeah. Very much so, yeah.
And I like the idea of that kind of cosplay.
I mean, he'd, to be fair, like his outfit would pretty much be the same as Balance's now anyway, because he's Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
So his outfit would be an Inquisitor, but he'd just have more like the longbow and like all the other rangery stuff that goes with it. So yeah.
Actually, I have the same shit. We basically would look the same except for face and hair.
Yes.
I am role-playing Balance 2.0.
Yeah.
It would, like furthering on the Taylor's one, she'd have a little green sword.
Aww.
It's an inflatable sword.
Yes.
She just goes around.
Yeah.
Of characters that we know, because I have an answer that's in a character that we haven't met yet.
Oh, really?
I'd say the Kythea.
Tiefling Kythea.
Yeah.
That'd be badass.
Yeah, Tiefling Kaifia. That's specifically.
I would love to see you cross-playing, but like keep your beard.
Or
Nope. Balance is out. He's out of that relationship.
or headless Ninverna.
Oh, cold, and I love it.
That's terrible. I'm so.
It would be funny.
Okay, wait. What if we
Say
all
that you wouldn't
cosplayed
laugh
each
very
other
hard if
as
you saw that.
dead
That
Dead
would be
women.
good.
I'm gonna cosplay dead Ama. I'm just gonna be covered in like there's just gonna be like green dripping down me for like the acid.
It means that Arch would have to be a debt.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta wear like a.
You still be an elf, and you still have long, like, blondish hair.
I always imagine Odette in like a ballerina costume because of Odette from like Swan Lake, which is what I named her after.
Oh, okay.
So just
Okay.
we just get you a ballerina costume.
In my head, she doesn't wear a ballerina costume. In my head, she wears a robe, but it's really
Yeah,
long and
probably.
really pretty.
Really, in my head, she walk around in full-ass plate armor.
What, a debt?
What
Yeah.
Odette?
She's a cleric.
Yeah.
In my head, she's wearing, like, badass
but
armor.
only some of them wear heavy armor. I mean,
No,
she
she'd
totally
definitely
didn't.
be more of a
No.
robe person.
Yeah, she's more of a robe girl.
So she's more like a priest.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh my god, Thirsty. When will we see more of Colin the bartender? I think he's awesome. One, you know who this character is based after, and it's you motherfucker. And two, it depends if they ever go back to the bar.
We will.
Sam, if your characters were stranded on an island and could bring only one pleasure item, what would it be?
Ama alive.
Oh! Wow, that's a damn quick
Sam.
fine answer.
Yeah. Well, Raw wouldn't survive on an island on his own. You
No, you
know
really
that.
wouldn't, no.
He would just
You're
die.
Calvin
He
Morn.
needs help.
Cannonmorn as a pleasure item? Actually, he's
Oh,
hilarious.
as a pleasure item.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a hilarious dude.
I mean, you just
But,
use the handle.
No,
The pommel.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow. And balance?
She'd bring Odette as a pleasure item.
Oh my god.
Not really an item, but that she goes everywhere with Odette. And
Oh my god.
I mean, if we're going to say people, then you know I'm going to say Kythea.
Yeah.
this is the island of getting
Oh
away.
my god, this is the island of getting you into way. This is ridiculous.
I don't think that this is what they meant by pleasure item, but
No,
Okay,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure
okay.
it's sex toys.
but I accept the answers anyway.
I will accept those answers for
I
sure.
thought we meant
All right, we're on the last few questions, guys. We're on the last
really
couple.
gotta wrap up.
All right, yeah, we're gonna wrap up. Thirsty again, you motherfucker. If your characters were pizza toppings, what would they be?
Pineapple, because he's acidic and hardly anyone wants him there.
You rag on Ral so much.
Some kind of spicy, like buffalo chicken.
Okay, that's a good choice.
No?
Here's his jalapenos.
Actually, no, yeah, he's right. It would be jalapeno.
It takes a certain kind of person to enjoy you.
Balances his banana peppers, because he's sharp.
I could see that.
I believe whatever Neil says because he works with pizza.
Yeah, that's true. I can't answer for the world. Barbecue based, maybe? I don't know.
The world isn't everything pizza.
The world isn't everything on it pizza.
It's disgusting and nobody wants it.
Yeah. I'm not answering that question because that would offend some
It's
people
a
I know.
cream pizza with buffalo sauce instead of pizza sauce.
I have a question for you all. Why did you all choose character names that are short onto something AL?
I don't think that any of us knew each other's character
didn't.
names.
Yeah, we
I can-
didn't coordinate that.
We can pivot that and be why did you choose the name you choose for your character? And the reason I chose Zoltana is because I was trying to think of a really good name and like I like all my names to mean something.
Yeah.
And there's a character in I think in like the Mask of Zorro or something, and it's like a Z name, but it's not Zorro, and I can't remember what it is now. But my friend Christine helped me choose it, and she was like, "Oh, it's either this or this," and it was not Zoltana, but that's one of the names she gave me. And I was looking it up, and I was like, "It's not Zoltana," but I kind of like that name, so I got it from something from the Mask of Zorro.
Nice.
In regards to that balance, I picked because when I first came up with the character concept, I liked the idea that he chose a different name, both to hide his identity as well as to kind of convince himself that he was finding more of a balance in his life. Mm-hmm. Laffian actually is from a elvish name thing that I found. It was like a chart that has like meanings to each of the parts of the name. So Laffian actually means night lord, like night, like the time of day. Because I kind of like the idea that he... Iguafa. I don't want to go into it because there are certain things that I
Nope,
connected to
that's
with
fine.
his...
Oh,
That's perfect.
Wait, I was wrong. It wasn't Zorro. It was Count of Monte Cristo. Because that book's about revenge. And my friend was like, "This, I've read this." And I was like, surprisingly, I haven't. So, sorry. Just occurred to me.
And where did Raljak Terrasan come from?
Raljak Tessarin. Because
Tesseract.
no,
Tesseract.
it's Tessarin.
Oh my god.
It's Tessarin. Caden pronounced it wrong, but Rawl wasn't going to correct him because Rawl knows that his name is outlandish.
Is it because I can't pronounce his name?
That's
Thank you.
You also say Ral instead
Ral.
of Rawl.
Rawl.
That's my Englishness
Jack.
coming through.
I don't know.
Ral. Just came out of nowhere. To be fair, that's
Yeah, just piece it together.
where most of my names come from. I just pull them out of my ass and hope for the best.
Pretty much.
Oh
I
my
don't really have a creative answer for that.
Is there anything anyone wants to ask me quickly before we go to the last question?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Good. Excellent. So this is the question we're not answering because it's too funny. And it comes from the Starwell. And the Starwell asks, when are you replacing Arch? And the answer is Iguafo.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Guys,
We're replacing Arch with Lexi and me with Onyx.
And we're replacing Neil with Aethril when he comes in.
Yeah.
Or Thirsty.
And then we have no smart people to help Raw.
Well, Ro won't be there because...
Rawl will be dead.
Ro'll be dead, bro.
Yeah.
Raw will be dead.
Okay, we're totally joking. I'm not
We're
replacing
joking.
anyone. I'm not
We're
replacing
not actually.
anyone.
We're all staying here for the long haul. You're stuck with us, and I'm so sorry.
I'm just... hashtag sorry, not sorry for everything you guys are about to experience.
Rock's fall, everyone dies.
Rocks before everyone dies. That may actually happen. I don't know. Iguafo.
Iguafo.
If I want you all to experience death, then that'll be the way I do it. No, I'm joking.
Thank
It'll be
you
more
for
interesting.
listening to us ramble for 2 hours.
For like fucking hours.
This was forever.
This was forever, but we did all the questions, guys.
That was
We did.
all of them.
We did them all, and I don't
Actually,
have
no, we
It
did
was
this one.
only 3 hours.
No, we didn't.
The Hogwarts house.
Oh yes, I might have missed picking that up. Hogwarts house, quick, real quick.
We already talked about it real easy. Zoltana is Gryffindor because she only has one set of skills and she's just brave as fuck, but everything else she's useless at.
Yep. True. Half
Balance is a Ravenclaw because he's nerdy as fuck.
He nerdy.
And then Rawl is a Hufflepuff
Hufflepuff.
because he doesn't fit in anything else and he's just kind of a lump of mush.
I think
And he's loyal.
I don't know. I think Caden would be Hufflepuff. I think Demi would be a Ravenclaw. And I think Kythia would be a Ravenclaw too.
Lindgren's a Slytherin.
Lindgren is straight up a Slytherin.
Don't degrade my house by only making bad people Slytherins.
No, it's not that. It's that he has a very specific set of goals and he will do certain things to get to them and that's it.
Actually, I think Ama would be Slytherin too. She's
There
very
you go.
driven.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me a good
She's very
character.
driven in the way that she does stuff, and she does a lot of the political, like, maneuvering.
She's a
which is
Slytherclaw.
A Slytherin.
She's a Slytherclaw.
I think she's more the Slytherin. Like, being a Ravenclaw is not natural to her. She does it so she can do the Slytherin thing. So, I think she's Slytherin.
yeah, that
I'm
works.
so sorry. You're not married to a Slytherin. Okay, we are literally going to wrap out now because we can keep talking about this shit for days. Thank you guys very much. And this may be the only time we get to record in the room together.
For a while, at least.
For
Yeah.
a long time. Well, then until we all fly out to England.
Yeah, you all got to fly to me.
Or we have that Spark convention. Who knows?
Or we have a Spark convention, in which case I'll have to fly here again.
Or we all
so-
go out to, what is it, San Jose for that?
San Jose for TwitchCon,
For
which
TwitchCon?
I might be here. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Iguafo.
And don't forget to check us out on Twitter at TLD Pod. I run the Twitter. Make sure you guys tweet at us. If you have any other questions, feel free to shoot them at us. We do have a Discord as well. The Discord is on the Twitter as well, so you can check that out. I believe I have it pinned.
We have a Facebook,
We have a Facebook, which is Lucky Die as well.
The Lucky Die podcast.
We have Facebook. We have a website.
We do have a website, theluckydie.com.
And please, 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 please go check out the Spark Network.
The Spark dot network. Let's back that network.
All right, I guess laters.
Bye!
The
Spark network. Imagine what your idea can do.